What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web on a happy edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. How do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them. So here it is. We'll get it out of the way. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm the Rolex reporter, your host here, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. And how about those Tampa Bay Rays? Congratulations to them. Try to really figure this team out. I mean, they lose 2 out of 3 against the Florida Marlins, and then they take 2 out of 3 from the Houston Astros. So if you can figure this team out, and some of you are just ready to give up on the Tampa Bay Rays, like always, you never give up on this team. It is a long baseball season. With that being said, we're not just going to talk baseball tonight, because if you guys want to talk baseball, you can. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. But also Josh Grizzard, the new offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, talked to the media yesterday, so I want to get into some of that. Of course, I have my co-host on tonight, Mr. Louie from the Frozen Pirate Podcast, joining me in just a couple moments. At 8:30, I got a surprise for you guys. We got two gentlemen coming on, talking about what the Sports Web is going to be a part of in the first week of June. Now, the tribal troll right there, Mr. Roger Shue,
acknowledge me,
kind of gave it away. He knows what's going on, and I think you guys are going to like it if it all works out. So we'll have two of those gentlemen on coming on at 8:30. At 9 o'clock, we'll have the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports, talking about what else around the NFL. And congratulations to all the Bucs fans out there who didn't want a playoff reseeding, because guess what? It's not going to happen, because the Lions took back. They, according to Judy Batista, withdrew their playoff reseeding proposal on Wednesday. Detroit's proposal was to amend the current playoff seeding format to allow wildcard teams to be seeded higher than division champions. That the wildcard team had a better regular season record. Under that format, the division champion with the best record would be seeded number 1. So that is by the wayside. And then the tush push is still in effect, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were one of those teams that voted against it, but it stays in the National Football League. So now teams, once again, are going to have to figure out how to stop the Fly Eagles Fly with the tush push.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then we'll also talk about Turnbuckle Talk, WWE, AEW action with the bodyguard of the Berg, Mr. Ralph Williams. And listen, I can read your text messages all night long. Love to do that. Facebook stars are open, YouTube super chats. So if you like the content, give to the content. We'll talk Turnbuckle Talk at 9:30. And once again, take your phone call, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391, as we are live here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn Live, Instagram Live, and of course Twitter, X, whatever the hell they're calling it this week. Special shout out to Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. If you want a haircut, a fade, a beard trim, I definitely need, I think, a beard trim here. I don't want to start looking like Santa Claus, even though, you know, some of my friends out there, Harry the Greek, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Travis Bailey, hell, Roger Shue, the tribal troll, they always make fun of me saying I look like a Santa Claus here, so I got to keep it intact, looking good. Go see our friendly barber here of the Sports Web, Mr. Ricky from Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go too far. You just have to go up the block. Again, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get my co-host on, as we always do here on a Wednesday night of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
What do you hear? What do you say?
There we go. Louie from the Frozen Pirate Podcast. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. So many things to talk about. We got some great sound from the new OC the other day. So we're going to break that down. We're also going to hear what Simeon Rice had to say about this defense all time. But once again, welcome to the Sports Web.
It's a pleasure to always be here on the Sports Web, Peter. You know how I feel about this. I look forward to this Mondays and Wednesdays, and now exclusively on the Sports Web every Thursday, 7:30, which is a blessing, like I said. And we got a very good show lined up for you guys. Big announcements coming. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. And then obviously looking forward to Turnbuckle Talk. But yeah, man, we're gonna kill it. It's gonna be a good show.
And really quick, I want to go out to the one shot because I got a shout out really quick here. Now, we all know the love affair with this wall and this sign. Now, I've, made no bones about it. I got 2 roommates, very cool roommates, but sometimes they kind of say I talk a little bit too loud. Now, welcome to the evolution. He is a Red Sox fan, but Steve, thank you very much, my friend. Even though he's a Red Sox fan, he helped me put up that sign. We got that sign up, so hopefully it doesn't come down now after the Rays win 2 out of 3 against the Houston Astros. So, Stevie, I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for helping me out here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. So, we get back to that. Yes.
A Red Sox fan said you talk
Red
loud?
Sox, well, yeah, there you go. I mean, we're like, I got to get this
what
guy
kind
on.
of universe are we in? A masshole told you talk loud. Wow.
Listen, this is the kind of day I had. I got to go out to this too really quick because, and I got to go out to there. Oh, well, that's not the one. Where is it? We're like messing around here with, okay.
There you go.
Listen, your day is bad when you're getting yelled at by Esther and Gertrude, right? I go through it, selling life insurance to people that are basically dead inside. By the way, somebody's going to help me. How do you sell life insurance to people that are dead inside? It doesn't happen. It doesn't always happen, especially the first 2 hours a day. But when you're getting yelled at by your boss because you're too loud, then you definitely know you're having a crap day. But I tell you right now, you know me all too well, guys. When I'm down, I'm definitely not out. And there are 2 halves to this game. That second half, I absolutely kicked some ass. So with me patting myself on the back, let's go out to, and I want to start out with, because I know we're going to start out with Grizzard, but I want to start out with Simeon Rice because he was emotional the other night. He's going to, of course, be the 16th member in the Ring of Honor, but I love what he has to say here. It's about a 4-minute clip of him talking about where he views this Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, the call that he got from Rich McKay, how he was actually recruited by Tony Dungy and Warren Sapp. Just some really great stuff here. If you're a Bucs fan, you're going to love this. Simeon Rice, let's go out to this and we'll come back and we'll talk about Josh Grizzard. We'll talk about the Bucs and talk about all these NFL rules. And of course, you got that surprise at 8:30. But here's Simeon Rice here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
This is number 2. I think all time, respectfully, is number 2 all time. That's where I think it's right behind 85 Bears. I think it's the 85 Bears and then us, and me being next to Warren was interesting, because we started out rocky. Because we both, this is where he plays. This is, I understood the assignment when I got here. When I got here, I came here to play with him. I didn't want, there was between New York, here in Chicago. In Chicago, when I went and had that meeting, it didn't really go well. Mike Hatley said I was like Michael Johnson, all highlights, no substance. So I was like, okay. And during that same meeting, I was on the phone with Rich McKay, like right outside the restaurant at Smith and Walensky's in Chicago. And I said, listen, we could get this thing done. I said, if you bring me down, you'll be in the Super Bowl either this year or next year. Trust me. Because I could tell, like I watched the Bucs play the Rams in that game, and I'm like, if I would have been playing, you would have won that game. You know what I mean? On that fuzzy play at the end of the game or whatever with the I forget Ricky Pro, yeah, that catch. So I was familiar with my position at this time. I wanted to win. So coming out, when we had that dinner and we came out with Tony and he brought me down and we had the dinner and Warren was supposed to be at the dinner. So I said, They was like, Warren said he was going to be on his way. I'm like, oh, okay. So if somebody calls him, and I'm like, what's up? He's like, where you on? I'm like, oh, I'm at the dinner. Where you at? He's like, I don't know. Where you at? I was like, I'm at the dinner. Where you at? You coming? He's like, what you on, Sam? I'm like, I don't know. What's up? What you on? Man, I'll call you back. Click. And I'm like, this dude just hung. And then and he's like, what'd he say? I was like, I don't know. He just hung up on me. You know what I mean? He was filling me out. Like, he was trying to figure out what type of dude I was or whatever. So then I get here, and immediately Rod set the room on fire. He was like, yo, this is what our expectations are of you too. So that was kind of rocky from the beginning, you know what I mean? And then I realized it wasn't like, it was all sweet. You know, I got up in the meeting, I'm like, you'll never call this dude out. And I pointed to him. I'm like, this dude's not making plays, da, da, da. And it got real tumultuous in the meeting. He's like, listen. He's like, you're the new guy. He didn't say my name, but he was talking to me. And everybody knew it. He's like, everybody up here, we might not, I don't care what you did anywhere else. I don't care if you was a all-pro anywhere. I don't care if you did this. When you playing here, there's different rules, and other guys got a level of trust that you have to earn. I'm sitting here like, okay. And then he started the rotation thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm in a rotation for the first time in my career. Meanwhile, I got 9-9 talking crazy to me too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this defense has exposed you. I'm like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right. I mean, long story short, as the days and the weeks progressed and months progressed, there was a high level of respect for myself and for him. We start really respecting each other as opposed to two entities colliding because we got in a big argument on the field once, and he looked at me and was like, yeah, they wanted to see that. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm not to be played with like that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it went on the whole time. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but it almost became like a situation. I'm like, I'm not the one to play with like that. Long story short is somewhere in the great in-between, we start really, really respecting each other as the play. You know, he's understood me, and I understood him. And I love playing with him. And we became brothers. We really have. We became brothers. And I think because we really, really, truly respected each other. So our relationship was a built relationship, but it was built on respect.
There you go. The great Simeon Rice there, and it's just getting it done. You know, all you got to need to do is get it done there. Chicago, all you got is highlights. So the Chicago Bears, his hometown team, right from Illinois. And thank you very much to the Bears. Always got his highlights. Yeah, not so much. It didn't work out for them so well. Definitely worked out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he said something interesting. Second all-time defense behind the Chicago Bears. Now, I made this point the other night. I think you can make this point of contention. Not only that 2002 Bucs defense could be considered the greatest of all time, but the collection of teams from 97 to like 07, 08. And this is without Sapp. This is with Rice. This is with the players on that team. That could be considered the greatest defense of all time. So go ahead here. Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast, kind of dissect what Simeon Rice said here on the Evolution.
I mean, the thing is with Simeon is he's never been shy to he's very upfront about everything. And I think it's very interesting that he dived into the first experiences he had as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer and leading up to it. And something that really stood out to me, Peter, was we built that respect. And that's huge because you remember when they brought in Keyshawn Johnson and what Warren Sapp used to say, because at the end of the day, Warren Sapp was like the gatekeeper for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense.
Right. He even said that this became Tinseltown because he had Keyshawn Johnson and he had all this collection again, you know, and I think what Sapp was trying to do, because he checks everybody, but I think the reason why Sapp was checking him at the time was because Keyshawn went to Sapp and said, listen, you know, you got the 17 points. I can get you over that top. And he went to, you know, management and ownership, make the trade or whatever else. And then Keyshawn got here, completely different person. Oh, yeah. So I think that was maybe, you know, trying to check him in the same way there and say, hey, is this guy interested in himself? interested in his numbers, or is he interested in being a part of, once again, as he would say, piranhas? They were piranhas on that defense and all the Hall of Famers. So I understand it. It's a part of leadership. And he even mentioned it in his press conference. Whatever you did in Arizona as an all-pro doesn't matter, because now you're in Tampa. And this is a totally different, situation. So, yeah, absolutely.
And I keep saying this, Peter. Who's the last guy to replace Simeon Rice? Nobody.
Nobody.
We had Derek Brooks. And then who came after Brooks? Levante David.
Yeah.
Nobody's really came into that. I mean, we've tried with Daquan Bowers, Adrian Claiborne, Michael Johnson, even.
Michael Ghost Johnson. There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody, it could be the next Rice. Not so much. Not
so much.
I'm going off the suck right there.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah. And then you're also talking about Shaq Barrett had one good year, consistent, good, but nothing like Sim. JPP, good player, nothing like Sim. Sim was definitely the key piece. And even, the Glazer, Brian Glazer said that he should be in the Hall of Fame with the numbers he put up. But he deserves to be in the Hall.
I deserves it. Yeah, he deserves it. Absolutely. No questions asked. He definitely deserves it.
Strahan and Jason Taylor. What are we talking about here? Why is he not in the Hall of Fame at this point?
I think now, Peter, after all this, I think, Ira can really, like you said on the last show, make sure you guys go back. Anything you miss, go back and watch, man. Especially the last show we did was a good time. But I think it was you that said now Ira has some, ammo, if you will, to present him and say, hey, listen, he just got into the Bucs Ring of Honor, and now it's really, these people are really going to take a good look at him. I honestly think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I think it's long overdue, in my opinion. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. He was so disruptive for that Buccaneers defense. And when Sapp left, he was still disruptive, with Anthony McFarland. So, I mean, in my opinion, he deserves it. And he was still playing when he went to the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, towards the back end of his career, I still thought he was playing at a pretty decent level, too.
Denver Broncos, I believe he was playing for, too, didn't he? Play for Denver?
No, that was John Lynch, I believe.
I thought that was him, too.
Was it? Did he go to Denver?
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the comments here. Roger Shoe says, first tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
Let's see here. Hope you're all ready for the surprise reveal at 8:30. So about 7 minutes away, we'll get these guys on. Absolutely correct. And then I will get this out of the way because I know you're going to troll me anyway.
Shut up!
Roger. Okay. So there you go. Christopher Cole says, hey, everyone, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Wait up, little boy.
All right.
Wait up.
Tim says, good evening, Peter. Good evening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Tim again. Jim Irsay dead at 65. So that was the breaking news of the day. Of course, Irsay being the son of Bob Irsay, who famously took the Baltimore Colts in the middle of the night from the Mayflower truck in the early 80s there to Indianapolis with heartbroken Baltimore football fans. Jim right there had some comments and some things, but again, the owner passes away. So God bless him and prayers out to him and his family at this point. RIP, absolutely. Sun Devil Dave, Rays and Cubs win today. Isn't it a beautiful thing, Sun Devil Dave? Isn't it a beautiful thing? There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm just off tonight. Steve says, Bucs, best all-time D. Agree with you on that. And Christopher Cole, Keyshawn Johnson didn't even show up to the OTAs this year. I mean, that's right. And even Sapp talked about this. He talked about it. He said, listen, he was a good wide receiver. Was he one of the greats? No, he wasn't one of the greats. And I
got to ask you something, though, Peter. Were you a Keyshawn Johnson fan?
When he was a Buccaneer, yes.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. I was more of a McCardell guy. When McCardell got here in 2002, I was just like, screw Keyshawn. Because at the end of the day, Keyshawn was good, but the problem with him is his ego, it just got in the way too much. I felt like if he was more of a team first guy, I think overall he would have had better stats. Number one, not saying he didn't.
Throw me the damn ball. I mean, that's what it was known for.
Yeah, give me the damn ball. Give me the damn ball. But you know what?
The damn ball, yeah. And then he had one touchdown. What was it? 100 receptions his first year with the Bucs and one touchdown.
Disappointing.
So, largely disappointing. And then, they have a collection there with Keenan McCardell, of course, Joe Jaravicious, some talented wide receivers. John Gruden could use him in that offense. he worked. He definitely was a big part of that Buccaneer offense. Not going to take it away from him. Did he have an attitude? Absolutely. But everybody on that team had a freaking attitude. You need that attitude sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's always got to be team first. Like when McCardell got here and and we seen what he brought to the table, the 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, man. I thought McCardell was awesome for the Bucs. And when I see 87, I just think of McCardell.
Yeah.
Keenan McCardell was the dude, man. He was one of my favorite. And he wasn't here for a long time, but I mean, he killed it.
Yeah, he definitely killed it. And then, of course, he got traded away to the San Diego Chargers because of a contract dispute, because he promised a contract, didn't necessarily work out. And then, of course, Keyshawn, I believe, was traded to the Dallas Cowboys for the great Joey Galloway, who's made some plays in his career there. And then Joe Jaravicius, of course, known for the game changer, besides the Rondé Barber play, which changes the whole game, changes it. 71 yards.
There was a lot of special moments in that game. That by far, go ahead and say it real quick before we get out to our next guest. That was by far, I was about 15 years old watching that game. Like I said, I was talking about this on the other episode. I was a little nervous because Philly started off quick. They scored, 2 plays? And I was just like, here we go again. And then when we seen when we seen Joe Jaravicius catch that ball down the middle and just go. Yeah, and we all know why. I mean, his kid
beats the linebacker Gardner in the middle. The middle linebacker, John Gruden talks about it on the story
game. Yeah,
America's game. It's beautiful. Goes to the sideline and ran as fast. You've never seen him run that fast. Of course, his son that week was going through it. Was in intensive care and try to play through that and then make a play that changes the complexion of the game. Amazing. Absolutely. Just
not the complexion, Peter, the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like that sparked it. And then Rondé Barber, it was the icing on the cake. I mean, that was my Super Bowl.
Yes. Well, 3 minutes to go until we really reveal this surprise. And I think you Bucs fans are going to absolutely enjoy this. You web heads out there, you Tampa Bay sports fans, nearly 200,000 views on Facebook the last 28 days. We have been all the way up to 758 in 90 days, so nearly 1 million, and then 180 days, over 1 million views. And this is what I have for you, because I got these two gentlemen on. We'll read the rest of these comments, and then we'll get out to our surprise for the Sports Web in June there. Yes, he did. You're right about that. Kyle says, what's good, guys? What's good with you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Wasn't really a part of the team. I'm not ready to say he wasn't a part of the team. He just, he was a part of the team, but he would definitely have that attitude. Who agrees? Dungy would have won the Super Bowl if not fired. I love Dungy. I've interviewed him twice, but I definitely think this team needed a new voice. And I will say this, it took Dungy, 6 years with the Colts when they got Tom Moore. And Tom Moore ran that offense with Peyton Manning. And then Dungy had the defense. Never going to take it, because I love Tony Dungy. He's an architect. He brought the Bucs out of the doldrums with building that defense up. But when it came to offense, it didn't work. It didn't happen.
John Gruden came in here and put some pieces together, because that's what the Buccaneers were missing. We just couldn't put points on the board. And I love Tony Dungy. He's one of my favorite Bucs coaches of all time. But John Gruden gave him that juice, man. They just gave him that juice.
That's it. Gave him the juice. Exactly. McCardell deserves to be in the Ring of Honor over Michon. Keyshawn was a diva. And
I like that, Michon.
California and the house, LFG. Let's go.
Win him.
Absolutely. Appreciate the comment there. So I'm on Facebook. As you know, we're on, all these social media platforms.
Got me on Facebook now.
Yes, and I did. Absolutely. It was done by design. Well, of course, tune in Thursday night at 7:30, 8 o'clock. You're going a little bit early.
7:30 is so 7:30 is the start time. We gave Leo Haggerty the first half hour of the show. Might be having somebody else come on too.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
Maybe I'll come on now, because I got the sign fixed and everything else. Maybe I'll make some time here really quick. Would you beat Oakland without or D? No, I agree with you on that. But would you beat San Francisco without the O? The second half of the year, Brad Johnson was on fire. 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That offense was tough to stop.
It was a perfect balancement.
Yes.
Perfect balancement. They balanced each other so well.
which is what they didn't have with Tony Dungy. And that's the reason why they went. And I understand it. I get it. All right. So I'm on Facebook, and these two guys hit me up, and they're running this Tampa Sports Collectors Expo, sports cards, TCG, and Pokemon. Now, why is that important to you guys? And I got it right now. Because I've taken off on Friday on June 6th from 2 p.m. to 8. This is happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds Special Events Center. Here is the guests that have been lined up. You ready for this? On Friday, Tristan Wirfs and Levante David should be on the sports web. Is that enough? No, of course it's not enough, because we come back on Saturday morning there from 9 a.m. to 4. And I don't know, I probably will be there the whole day, knowing me, because I like to talk my ass off. And I'm going to get a chance to possibly, and they tell me the guests are going to be at this thing, and they're going to try to get them on my show here. Jose Canseco, Jalen McMillan, Brad Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kalijah Cansey, Christian Itzian, Orlando Hernandez, Phil Esposito, Ruben Sierra, John Gruden, Ian Book, Bucky Irving, Desmond Watson, Elijah Roberts, and a partridge in a pear tree. And then on Sunday, if I'm just not worn out enough here, because you probably guys will drag me back, Florida Gator quarterback DJ Langway, Tank Hawkins, DeBron Hampton, Nick Anderson from your Orlando Magic, Sam Perkins, Cedric Maxwell, and Aaron Childs. Is that enough for you guys? We got 3 shows coming up back-to-back, June 6th, June 7th, June 8th at the Florida State Fairgrounds. Let's go ahead and get them on right now. And let's go ahead and go out to this man right there and go out to this man right here. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, gentlemen. And tell us what you got going on and what you guys basically have offered to us here on the evolution, because we love it. Absolutely love it. Love all the guests here. But why are you guys doing this? How long have you been doing it? Welcome to the Sports Web.
What's going on, Peter? What's going on, Louie?
What's up, man?
What's up?
We got Jamie on here and Josh. Yes, absolutely. It's great to have you guys on here. And you reached out to me. You seen the show. You liked.
Love it. I'm a homegrown fan. I love it.
Yeah. How long you been a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan for?
Oh, man. I'd say my grandpa used to take me to games in 96, 97, and I fell in love when Warwick Dunn had that 75-yard run. You remember that?
I definitely remember that. Yes,
yeah, my grandpa used to take me all the time, and I made it a thing to make it a tradition and take my boys.
Listen, Warwick Dunn against the Chicago Bears. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
love
sir.
Warwick Dunn out of Florida State. Love Derek Brooks, who's my favorite player, Mr. Derek Brooks. We're not going to have him, but, the first night here, Jamie, it's looking like Tristan Wirfs and Levante David. How did you guys decide to do this? How did you get these guys in the fold? Go ahead and talk about this to the webheads and the Tampa Bay sports fan out there.
Hey, Peter and Louie, thanks for having me. So this is actually the second show that we've done in the area. Myself and one of my partners down in Tampa did a show in December of last year, and we had a few of the current Bucs there, headlined by Bucky Irving. And then we were able to get some older Bucs, Hugh Green, Eddie House, guys like that from back in the day. But then this one, with all the guys being in town for mandatory practice, it made a lot of sense for us to be able to reach out to these guys' agents and their representatives to be able to get these guys on board. We've been doing shows together for quite some time now. I've been in the industry myself for almost 20 years. My partner, he's been in it for probably north of 30 years now. So we're not new to this, but this area is very new to us. We're both from Western New York originally. He moved down to the Tampa area a little over a year ago, and I'm still currently in Western New York. So it's, again, it's a good opportunity for us to be able to bring a family-friendly show to the area and have the fans be able to get up close and personal with their favorite Bucs and some of their favorite other athletes as well.
Yeah, and this is taking place at the Florida State Fairgrounds Special Events Center, MLK entrance. I talked to both of you gentlemen, and said, listen, if you could put a table together, if you can give me some Wi-Fi, maybe feed me a little bit, but feed me those guests here on the Evolution so I can give my web heads and all the Tampa Bay sports fans a treat. Because as I said, coming in, and listen, am I patting myself on the back? Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. I'm also giving the Tampa Bay sports fan what they want, what they deserve here, which is, football guests, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, local Tampa Bay sports celebrities, 200,000 in the last 28 days, nearly 1 million in the 90 days there, and again, over 100 on Facebook and all these other social media platforms. And I just think it would be awesome, to have all these guests on, especially, starting out with Tristan Wirfs and Levante David. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Tell me, guys, what kind of turnout have you seen, with you said you had this show, what kind of turnout have you seen from the fans embracing what you guys are doing?
So the last show we did was during the NFL season. Like I said, it was beginning of December. Saturday was much better than we expected. Sunday, we were up against a Bucs home game, so we knew it was going to be tough. We had a pretty strong basketball lineup there. But Sunday, even Sunday, with us not expecting a lot of people there, the turnout was much better than we expected. So I would anticipate with the lineup that we're bringing now in 2 weeks at the fairgrounds, I would anticipate that there's going to be a ton of people there. Because again, like I said, the last time we only had 3 current Bucs guys there. We had a lot of other talent there. We had Dennis Rodman there. We had Michael Vick, Lawrence Taylor. Jim Palmer was there. So there was a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of big names there. Unfortunately, it was Ricky Henderson's last scheduled appearance before he unfortunately passed away. He didn't make it because of this. So I mean, again, we had a pretty heavy lineup there in December, but this is really tailored and catered almost exclusively to Bucs Nation.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And listen, Josh, you said that you reached out to me and said it would be cool to get these guys on. And I'm looking, Bucky Irving here. I'm looking at John Gruden. We were just talking about John Gruden being there. Some of these are just a primetime guest. And again, going back to a Bucky Irving, Jalen McMillan, Brad Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr. And you can get on camera with them. I just, I'm looking forward to having them on here, having them on the sports web, talking to them for a little bit. But who are you looking forward to meeting, or have you already met some of these guys already?
I've met Bucky Irving, but I'm looking forward to meeting the peacemaker himself, Antoine Winfield. That's probably my favorite player in the league right now because he's one of the best safeties I've ever seen, man.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good safety, yeah.
Well, he definitely needs to, have a comeback at this point because it was kind of a down year with the injury situation. But, 2 years ago, and even Dexter Jackson, former Super Bowl MVP for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, said he can be the top safety in the league. On the field. So tell us more about this, Jamie, about what you guys are doing and why you started to do this besides, the fan interest here. What can fans expect when they come out to the Florida State Fairgrounds on Friday, June 6th from 2 to 8, Saturday, June 7th from 9 a.m. to 4, and then Sunday wrapping it up on June 8th from 10 a.m. to 3.
So obviously, I mean, you touched on the lineup before we jumped on. So you've seen that, and obviously you'll see, who we have appearing over those 3 days. But really, I mean, it's again, it's a family friendly event. It's something that you can bring all of your kids to, none of your kids to. You can bring your grandfather, you can bring your grandmother, whoever. I mean, we've got plenty of space. The event venue itself is very large. We're going to have over 200 dealer tables there with miscellaneous sports memorabilia, trading cards, TCG, Pokemon, all kinds of stuff. We're also going to have some direct access guests too. And by direct access, that means they're going to be set up at a table, sort of similar to how the vendors are, almost like a Comic-Con style. We've got a couple of the kids from the Sandlot, Shane Obazinski, who's local, and then Grant Gelt, who are two Sandlot actors. We've got Joe Armineau from Pokemon and Red Dead Redemption. She's going to be there. We've got a couple of actors as well. Stuttering John from the Howard Stern Show and the Tonight Show is going to be there. He's a local guest. And then we also have Michael Papajohn, who's a stunt actor. And then he's most notably known for being in the Spider-Man movies as well. So that's going to be a cool thing as well for the weekend. So you'll be able to interact with those guests as well and take some photos and get some autographs from those guests as well. But again, overall, it's just going to be a great event for us to be able to bring it to the Florida area, which everybody had told us that it really wasn't a great area, but nobody's really tried to do anything like this in quite some time. And the way the markets kind of responded and with as popular as trading cards and all of that have gotten coming out of the pandemic, it made a lot of sense for us to be able to set this up and really put a lot behind it to make it successful.
And the thing that I loved about it, and we're on with Jamie Bly here of Bly Sports Marketing. We got Josh on, of course, Louie from the Frozen Pirate Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter on the sports web. I don't see anybody else doing this. I don't see a radio station embracing it. I wanted to keep it a surprise, so there was nobody else that could participate in it. But I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be live. I have all my equipment ready to go to talk to some of these guests, and I'm looking forward to talking to some of these Bucs and talking to some of the. Looking forward if we get John Gruden on, that would be amazing. And just the line of guests on Saturday. I mean, Friday, amazing with Tristan Wirfs and Levante David, but Saturday, Jose Canseco, former Devil Ray, Jalen McMillan, of course, rookie last year coming into his second year, Brad Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kalijah Cansey, Christian Itzian. I mean, these are well-known Bucs right now. Orlando Hernandez from the past, played for the Yankees, right? Pitcher, Phil Esposito. If you don't have Phil Esposito, you don't have the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ruben Sierra for the Texas Rangers. Again, John Gruden, Ian Book, Bucky Irving, Desmond Watson, and Elijah Roberts. I mean, that in itself, and we're going to try to stay out there as long as we can. And Harry the Greek, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Leo Haggerty, anybody who wants to come out there, co-host it with me. Louie, I wish you were here, my friend. I know you're in Massachusetts because you could co-host, but whoever wants to come out with me and co-host, you're more than welcome.
Man, Louie, you're in Massachusetts?
Yeah,
I'm a masshole, but I've been a diehard Buccaneers fan since 1995, man.
It's addicting, bro. It's an addicting lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk about real quick because you said you were talking about Antoine Winfield Jr. And before you guys came on, we were talking about how Joe Juravicious and how iconic that catch was. But another iconic moment that I think of was when Tyreek Hill did the backflip in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then karma just kind of had its way in the Super Bowl where he just threw up the piece right back at him to win the game. That was pretty iconic in itself. So yeah, man, the Antoine Winfield Jr. probably, and I think they made T-shirts out of that. I wish I could have grabbed
T-shirts. I have a picture. I'm actually gonna get signed at the event.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
All right, so again, you guys set up a table for me, set up Wi-Fi, whatever guests you want to get me that day, we'll be there, we'll be live. If you guys want to promote something from here on out, we got you on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. You guys want to say anything else to the webheads out there or people that are sports fans in case they want to come out and not only see this Collectors Expo, but also be a part of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Tell them about it, Jamie.
Yeah, tickets are available now online at sportscornersignings.com. That's sportscornersignings.com. Tickets will be available at the event as well. Admission's only $5 per day. Fairgrounds charges you for parking. Nothing we can do about that. But admission's only $5 to get in per day. And then obviously you have to, depending on who you'd like to meet. But we tried to keep it very, very affordable. I mean, when you look at what some of these other shows nationally are charging, we kept the families in mind and we kept everybody's, pockets in mind. I mean, again, it's not, unfortunately, it's not cheap for us to be able to get these guys here. So we have to charge something for it, but we tried to keep it as reasonable as we possibly could to make it, again, as attractive as possible for families.
Yeah, so basically $5, you got to pay for parking and you get a chance to meet your favorite Tampa celebrities, Tampa athletes, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, this goes on from Sunday, pretty good. Florida Gator fans out there. I'm a Florida State guy, but DJ Langway going to be popular for Florida Gator fans. You got Tank Hawkins, DeBron Hampton, Nick Anderson, that's a former Orlando Magic. Sam Perkins, of course, of the Lakers. Cedric Maxwell, former Florida Gator, I also believe. Houston Rocket. I mean, just and then you said the standalone. Did you? You're killing me, Smalls. Is it that guy? Is it that guy?
No, it's one of the twins and one of the other guys are going to be there. But again, I mean, when you talk about iconic movies and especially again catering to the families, I mean, what's better than The Sandlot when you talk about great family sports movies? I mean, I think that's probably top of everybody's list. So, anytime you can get any of those actors, and obviously they don't look like they looked 30 years ago, but still, anytime you can have a chance to interact with those guests, I think it's a win for all.
Who's a guy that you met out of this crew here that you were pleasantly surprised, or who did you have the pleasure of meeting on the last card show that you were pleasantly surprised in meeting? Because I'll give you a story really quick. It didn't work out very well. Mike Piazza, my first baseball game was actually an all-star game in Texas. I won it from the TJ Reeves show a long time ago on 810 or 820 the team off of that. And I got a chance to meet Mike Piazza, and it didn't necessarily work out so well. And then the guy that I met that was great was Barry Larkin. Got a chance to talk to him for about 30 to 45 minutes. And, consequently now he's a part of the Orlando baseball group there trying to woo the Tampa Bay Rays, which I don't think is going to happen. But that was my experience. Jamie, how about you? Who's the guy that you met out of this collection or the last card show that you were pleasantly surprised with?
So I mean, whenever you deal with current guys, it's always a crapshoot as to how they're going to be. All of the guys that we had at the last one, Bucky Irving, Yaya Diaby, and Payne Durham, they were all fantastic. They were great with the fans. They were great with all the employees. They handled their business, took care of what they needed to, and they were on their way. This group, a lot of the guys I haven't worked with. I know my oldest son's a big John Gruden fan. He's a up and coming quarterback up in Western New York. So he's been following all of the Gruden quarterback camp and all of the work that he did leading up to the draft and all of that. So he's excited to be down here and be working the show and be able to meet him. The baseball guys, Ruben and Jose, are guys that I've worked with for years. They're both fantastic. They're top guys in my book whenever there's somebody that I'm looking to book for events. El Duque Orlando Hernandez is going to be a first-time guy for me, but it comes, again, highly recommended from a friend of mine, so he should be great as well. Had some conversation with Nick Anderson leading up to this. He sounds like he's going to be fantastic. And Sam's somebody that I deal with a lot as well. We actually had him at the last show also. He's always fantastic with the fans. And obviously when you talk about the great North Carolina teams of the early 80s, they had a couple of other guys in there too. Some guy named Jordan and James Worthy, but I think those guys turned out okay too, but Sam's always great to have at a show. And again, a very impressive career.
With the card industry, because it was one of the things that I grew up with, because when you're a baseball fan, that's how you got your baseball cards. Have you seen more interest in this? Because a lot of people say, well, cards and stuff like, and they're still interested in it. It certainly seems like, right?
Oh yeah, it's big business now. It's as big as it's ever been. And I'm, again, growing up and coming through the card boom of the late 80s and early 90s, I was around during that, but this is on a whole nother level with the amount of money and the, in the size of the industry right now. It's bigger than it's ever been. It's more popular than it's ever been. And with more ways to reach people and more ways to display your collection, it's made it that much more popular.
Absolutely. Great stuff, guys. I really appreciate the time here. And again, the invite, giving us a table there, giving us the opportunity to get some of these athletes on and talk to them. It would be great to have them on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. And we love the fans, especially when they tune in, and we want to give them something. And this is what we're going to give them in June. And we're going to continue to give them stuff to look at and keep on coming back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. But once again, go ahead and promote this great event, because we'll have you on again to remind people next week about it. But once again, Jamie and Josh, we appreciate the time. But Jamie, promote this event.
SportsCornerSignings.com. Tickets available for everybody. Again, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Sports Collectors Expo shows, SCE shows. Follow us on there. We'll post all announcements and everything leading up to the date of the show. We should have public times announced for when guys are going to be scheduled to appear, probably by the end of this week, if not certainly the beginning of next week, just so everybody can schedule as to who they want to meet and what time they're going to be there. We do get a lot of questions. We schedule them in half-hour blocks. If anybody needs to be there for more than a half an hour, they will stay there. So don't worry if you're standing in line and and their time runs out, they're not going to get up and walk away from you. So
love it. Josh, you got anything else before we get you out of here on the Evolution?
Josh is our hype man. He's bringing the energy all weekend.
Yeah,
we're running on fumes.
Yeah. Okay. You got to do me a favor, Josh.
What's that?
You got to say this because we always have our guests to say it, but since you're the Mr. Energy, you got to say, bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Go.
Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. You feel me?
Yeah. Winner, chicken dinner, guys. Thanks a lot here for coming on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank you very much.
All right. Great stuff there. I mean, come on.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man. This is huge.
Look at these guests. Did you fix that? Because I want to put this on the screen again. Can we put that on the screen?
I couldn't get it to go because it's the way they formatted. But let's get right to it, man. There it is, right there. Check that out.
We'll go on and kill this right now. Look at this again. Friday's guests: Tristan Wirfs and Levante David. And I've been promised that we're going to get these guests on, get these athletes on. We're going to promote. We're going to continue to promote this. We want fans to come out. We want webheads to come out. We want the Tampa Bay sports fan to come out. And again,
if it wasn't such short notice, man, I would have already booked the flight.
Brother, I love to have you. And whenever you get down here, we'll definitely welcome you to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television live here on camera. Now, again, Friday's guest, Tristan Wirfs, Levante David. Saturday, Jose Canseco, Jalen McMillan, Brad Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kalijah Cansey, Christian Itzian, Orlando Hernandez, Phil Esposito, Ruben Sierra, John Gruden, Ian Book, Bucky Irving, Desmond Watson, Elijah Roberts on Saturday. And then Sunday, DJ Langway, Tank Hawkins, DeBron Hampton, Nick Anderson, Sam Perkins, Cedric Maxwell, and Aaron Childs. And then you see again the direct access guest there, stuttering John Melendez from the Howard Stern Show, Michael Papajohn there from Spider-Man, Shane Oberzinski, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right, The Sandlot, Grant Gelt from The Sandlot, and then I'm not going to even try to pronounce that name at this point. From Pokemon.
I don't know.
Yes, and there you go. And also appearing
Pokemon. You can't say Pokemon. I get in trouble for that.
Yes. So there you go. It's at the Florida State Fairgrounds, June 6th from 2 to 8, $5. It's all it costs, $5 to get in there and meet some guys that you admire and appreciate, especially on that Friday and, of course, Saturday. And you got to pay for parking, but it's a great deal at the end of the day. So, guys, that is your surprise.
That's huge.
Thank you very much for always supporting the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I appreciate you immensely. Leo Word. We're going to have Leo on here in about 7 minutes. We'll get out to some of these comments, get your reaction.
I actually have a question for John Gruden.
Yeah, well, I got a question for John Gruden, too. And I got a couple of questions for John Gruden. That would be a hell of an interview here on the Sports Web.
Oh, yeah. The first one is, how dare you? How dare you get rid of John Lynch and Warren Sapp in the same year?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the one question that I asked. But
if I had to ask him a question, I would say, hey, what was the thought process of losing John Lynch and Warren Sapp? Because John Lynch was there before Sapp.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. Lynch was there before Sapp. I think he used to play linebacker, if I'm not mistaken, Peter. I think he would play linebacker. But
he was a safety in the box.
Before its time, if you will. But Warren Sapp, too, that hurt. That hurt big time. I remember that hurt big time. So I kind of would ask him, hey, what was the process behind that and why was that decision made? So.
I mean, there's so many questions you can ask John Gruden, and again, we'll see if we can get him on. I'm not guaranteed for every guest, but I'm telling you right now, these guys said, listen, you come out there, we got your table, we got some Wi-Fi for you, and that's all I need.
Dude.
$5.
Come on.
That's it. $5.
$5. Right. Come on, guys.
All right. Where's the surprise? Gruden inherited Dungy's defense.
I mean, you can say that about our offensive coordinator right now. He inherited Liam Cohen's offense.
Right. So, I mean, let's not do that. Big Pete B and Beantown Louie. Appreciate you, Marine.
Oh, yeah.
KR says, evening, Peter and Louie. Go Bucs. Looking forward to seeing the team in August for training camp. He said, go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs. There you go, right there. KR says that's awesome news. LBD and Warps. That's just on Friday. You saw the Saturday guest. I mean, we're gonna get some guests there. Wow, this is
David, man.
Yes, I mean, it's not gonna just be us. Okay, it's not gonna just be me, Harry, Ray, Leo, all sitting around. It's gonna be some football guests. I guarantee you that. So it's gonna be fun. We need Baker on the show. We'll see what we can do. I'm doing the best I can here. All right. Let's go. I see this show advertised. Would love to go, but can't make it down to TB. He said, let's go.
Wait up, little boy. Yeah. Wait up.
He said, let's go. And he said, let's go. There we go, right there. Let's go out to Pitch Grid Pod. What's good, all? What's good with you, my friend?
Yes.
Shout out to them guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Tuning in every week.
Shout out to them. Shout out to all these webheads out there. Glad to tune into another awesome show. Thank you, Christopher O'Reilly. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Yes.
Let's go out to Steve, Mike. Okay. I don't know if I said Mike Vick. Did I say Mike Vick is a guest? Did I say that? No. I don't know why you're saying that. Jim, the sports web. Damn it, Jim.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell is the matter with you?
Let's go out to Jeremiah here. Hi, everyone. Shadow is here. Welcome, Shadow.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Let's go out to Jennifer Clark. We will be there. Very cool. Sounds good.
Woo!
All right, let's go out to Christopher Cole. Awesomeness. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Raina says, hell yeah. Let's go.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Let's go out to Roger Shue. What's the cost? We gave you the cost to be the boss.
$5.
And they kind of like the $5 foot long, $5, except it's a lot better. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Appreciate
More
you.
bang for your bucks.
You better be there.
Acknowledge me.
I feel like, and I took off of work from Policy Scout. So thanks a lot to the real mayor of New York, Mr. Anthony Giuliani, a big time Knicks fan, for giving me that day off so I can do my thing there and hopefully get those guests on. Really good lineup, former pros and celebs, absolutely. Sports Nuts, would you all be down to come on our show, Sports Nuts in June? Send me a DM, please. We cover all angles of every sport. Absolutely. We love to come on we love to come on your show from the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Mike D. Roche from Canada. Oh, Canada. What's going on, boss?
Yeah.
I did the best that I could. I know Shane personally grew up with him. Oh, very cool. Wow. Small world. Go Buccaneers. Go Buccaneers. Absolutely.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Buccaneers.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. I got to do it. All right. Laugh out loud. Michael Vick, Roger Shue, the Tribal Troll. Congrats again, Pete. Thank you very much. But it's not just me. It's all of you, because if we don't have the popularity of the show, if we don't have people tuning in Monday and Wednesday nights, and anytime we have breaking news when it comes to Tampa Bay sports, especially your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this would not be. It would not. They looked at us and saw how professional we were and how we carried ourselves and saw the numbers and said, yeah, we'll allow you to have a table there and interview some guests. I'll be in Tampa late June. I love to meet Mr. Blake even for a few minutes. Absolutely, Mike D. Roche. Love to meet you, my friend. Keep on fighting the good fight. All right?
Yes.
All right, there we go. So we got 1 minute until Leo comes in here.
A lot of views, man. I will say that. Lots of views, man. This show is definitely it's on the upward trend. It's crazy. Even it was nuts because, like I said, I did almost 900 views. Shout out to everybody who tuned in from the sports web that tuned in to listen to a kid from Massachusetts talk about the Bucs. I ended the show and I said I couldn't be more grateful. And then just seeing the numbers, it was shout out to you guys, man. You're making a kid from Massachusetts his dream come true. You really are.
Well, listen, that's what we do here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. There's another kid by the name of JC Allen, JCA, on this show that's doing pretty well. So you stick with me, kid, and you'll be all right. You're not a kid, but all right. So let's go.
Hey, you know what? I had a guy today.
So yes.
Yeah, well, I had a guy today at work. Well, not today, yesterday, because obviously starting this new job. The guy told me, he goes, "How old are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm 37." He's like, "You're an effing liar. You're not 37. You're like 25." I'm like, "Buddy, I'm 37. I was born in 1987. No way. You look 25. How is that possible?" And he takes his hard hat off. He goes, "I'm 42," and he has no hair. He has bald spot. He goes, "I look 62. I said, "Maybe you should stop drinking."
Well, there you go. That's what it's all about. Not drinking, not doing drugs. And that's how
you know the drugs, kids.
That's it. That's how you stay healthy and young. Even though some people say I'm still Santa Claus with this beard, it's going to be my luck.
You know what that's called, Peter? You know what that's called? Knowledge.
Wisdom, and lots of stress.
Yeah, could be.
Jeff says, watching you guys in the NBA playoffs feels like a throwback to late 90s with Bucs defense getting better and Knicks versus the Pacers. Got to love the time right now you got in sports. What's the date of the event? Great question, Raina. Here is the date once again. Boom. Friday, June 6th from 2 p.m. to 8. I think we're going to start about 2 o'clock. I don't know if we're going to go until 8, but we'll give you a couple hours. You know how long we go. We go as long as, we get those guests on. We talk a little bit, and then we'll get off, and then we'll come back on Saturday morning. And it's June 7th from 9 a.m. to 4, and then Sunday, June 8th from 10 a.m. to 3. All those guests right there. So definitely tune in. Raina, one of my favorite web heads on this show. Appreciate you as always. What's your thoughts on Justin Simmons? I have no thoughts on Justin Simmons. I think, people throwing that rumor out there. It was 32 years old, gets cut, veteran. Does this work for you? Is this a fit for the Bucs in your opinion?
1 year, $5 million. That's the only way I'd do that. 1 year, $5 million. And that's about it. I mean,
and see, I think it takes away from Tyke Smith. I want to see,
but the way I look at it, Peter, it's depth. I mean, and he's played the Atlanta Falcons. He knows he went up against them every week in practice. So it could benefit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, it's kind of a sleazy way, but I mean, at the end of the day, a win's a win, and you got to do what you got to do to win. I mean, even if it's taking the Ric Flair route and being the dirtiest player in the game.
All right, got you.
Right, baby. He wasn't 17-time world champion for no reason. Let's go.
Yes, that's true. Let's go. And Leo loved listening to the show. Two mates. Yes, that's Louie and Leo. Absolutely, we'll have him on in just a little bit. $5 admission to the show per the day. Show is Friday, 6/6, Sunday, 6/8. Autograph ticket pricing for all guests can be found on our website at sportscornersignings.com. Again, sportscornersignings.com. $5 admission. You got to love that. Jamie, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll do more promotion. In fact, we'll try to make a commercial out of that for you talking about it and getting it here on the Evolution, because it's nice to have a little bit of a break sometime instead of just talking all the time, but we can talk all night. Thank you very much, Raina. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Kyle.
Wow, we've gone to midnight before, 12:30.
12:30 for the draft.
The draft shows, they were pretty late too.
Oh yeah. I remember going way back in the day on another platform. We went until like 1:30. We broke news that Antonio Brown was getting traded to the Buffalo Bills. I came on with that, nearly burnt my kitchen down because I was cooking, and then I decided to true story. Come on live and forgot.
No, the Raiders. He got traded to the Raiders. He played there for three practices.
He got traded to the Bills, and he refused to get. Yes, he did, and he didn't want to play for the Bills.
Oh yeah, that's right. He blocked that trade. Come
on. Yes, he did, and we had that, and we were talking free agency, and you just sometimes, listen, when you're single and you got no kids, you can do whatever the hell you want to. And I'm proud of that because I'm able to put, the hard work into this show. Not saying it's going to be forever. Hopefully it's not. But it's always a good thing when you got I got my dog. I look at my dog. Hey, take you out. I'm going to feed you. And then I'm going to go on the sports web. Okay. And he shakes his head, goes and eats. And that's at the end of it. Kyle, listening to you guys watching the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs is my night tonight. Best podcast I found last night. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And Shiloh Sanders. That's why I say you have what you have at this point. Go with Tyke Smith, Shiloh Sanders. They like Kayvon Merriweather there. I think Justin Simmons, to me, not a fit. But you never know.
Like I said, it's got to be 1 year, very, very low cap hit, rotational depth purposes. If one of these guys go down, But then again, we haven't seen what this defense is made out of. Maybe something happens in training camp. God forbid. Hopefully nothing happens. But I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but not right now. I mean, we have the guys. We have the guys that we need.
Absolutely. You definitely got the guys you need. Let's see there, right there. Rays 8 over the Stros 4. Yes. Steve Mike says, you must have dogs. His apology wasn't sincere. Listen, Steve, I definitely understand, how you feel about Michael Vick. There's a lot of people out there that feel a certain way about Michael Vick, but he did his time. He did his debt to society. And some people don't forgive. And again, I think he's done enough. You can feel the way you want to about Michael Vick, but Michael Vick was a talented NFL football player.
Depending on the crime, this is the way I look at it, especially when it came to Michael Vick. To sit here and say, hey, to really hate somebody for stuff like that and all that stuff. It's
all lines because this is kind of interesting. Well, I don't know why she called, but I'll go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of like walking around with a backpack full of dog poop, if you will.
You said
unfortunately, you just got to move on from it. And like you said, Peter, he did his time. He came back into the NFL, played for the Eagles, had a fantastic career after that. Didn't really lose a step, didn't get into any trouble. And, I mean, it sucks, but, he did his time. And so it's not like he got away with it. He did his time and he paid dearly. You know how much money he left on the table because of that stupid decision?
Lots of money. A lot of money being a franchise quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
And that was one of the biggest contracts at the time?
At the time,
It was like 160 million. No, it could be less than that. But I know it was somewhere with just the endorsements he had with Nike and all that. He lost a lot of money, man.
Yep, he did. And just it should be a teaching moment for anybody out there. If you got a lot of money, is it worth it? Ask yourself, if you're going to do something stupid, if you're going to post something on social media, is it worth it? Because if it is, most likely it's going to cost you a lot of money. Write it down.
Look at Henry Ruggs.
Yes, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I always say that. Like, you go back to Shannon Sharp. Like, is it worth it? Like, yeah, I get it. You can live your life, because I used to go back and forth with my co-host, Sean the Sports Don. Love you, brother. Go back and forth. You got to live your life. But do you also, if you have that much money and you're getting 7 figures from your podcast, you got to kind of, you got
a big target on your back too.
Yes.
This day and age is not the same like before, man. The target on your back. Look at the allegations against Shannon Sharp right now and that whole situation. That is
it worth
even
it?
If it was consensual.
Consensual?
Consensual. Okay. I got other things on the brain because that. Even though it like maybe there was nothing done, but I mean, still, just the text messages, the audio, all that stuff, it just puts you in a different light. People look at you a little differently. Not saying he did anything wrong. Maybe he's telling the truth, maybe not. But again, when you have that much money, and this is for all the young kids out there watching, all the young webheads watching, listen, the best advice I can give you is learn from other people's mistakes. You see what's going on with Shannon Sharp. You see what happens with all these high-profile players, man. They got a lot of money. All it takes is for one girl to really F up your life. And I'm not saying it's the problem is the women, because there are some good women out there, but a lot of these women, man, they don't care about you. They just care about your bag.
Yep.
All right. They care about that bag. And look what Shannon Sharp's going through. He lost his job. Yeah, he still has his podcast, but still, man, when you're making that kind of money and now you lost your gig at ESPN, that sucks, man. That hurts your wallet because the way you live, the things that you're used to, now you have to go and cut back. It's just, you got to be careful, man. That's why I tell all the young kids out there with the girls, stick to one chick, man. I'm telling you, and make sure she's with you for you and not your money.
Yep. That's it. Good stuff. Good advice right there. Appreciate you, fellas. Appreciate you, Jamie. Notice Simmons says Christopher Cole. Peter, does Sanders make the team? Not sure yet. He has been impressive. He may make this team on special teams. Don't be surprised, though. Todd Bowles may have a plan for him to make this team. We'll see. Peter, would you let Michael Vick watch your dog for a couple hours? Listen, he was young when he did it.
Yeah.
He did what he did. He did the time. I would believe him at this point. I think people deserve second chances. It's my dog, though. You know, I love my dog. I don't know if I let anybody watch my dog at this point. You know,
I got an American Bulldog. I mean,
would you let him watch your dog?
Absolutely, because if he did something stupid, Onyx would F your day up big time. He's not. He's a lazy dog. I mean, he's a big boy.
Right.
But I mean, if he really wanted to, he'd really mess your day up. I mean, he's got a little bit of a bite to him.
All right. Let's see here. Aloha brothers and mahalos for your time, Lamar. Appreciate you.
Awesome. I had a buddy of mine who passed away. He lived in Hawaii, so I know what that means.
All right. Josh Grizzard spoke to the media here yesterday. I wanted to get to that. We'll have Leo Haggerty on when he comes on. Busy guy, but he talked about the offense. But before he talked about the offense, he talked about the drafting of Emeka Buka. And a lot of people, a lot of fans out there threw this out there, this narrative that it was Jason Lyon. He was going against Todd Bowles and nobody was collective on this. And Grizzard kind of answers this question succinctly. Leo Word here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here's Grizzard talking about just that.
Yeah, it was very collective. From the time we started watching his tape to meeting with him in Indy, it's something that's very collaborative between myself and B-Mac and, of course, Coach Bowles and Jason and the rest of his staff. So we go through anybody that's really draft eligible as well as after the draft, and we were aligned and trying to get him here and very fortunate to do so. For one, he's just so tough, smart, and he's coming from a winning program, coming from a great head coach, receiver coach that he's prepared for, and he just embodies everything that we believe in here when it comes to being selfless, tough, disciplined, being able to play multiple positions. You heard about it going into the combine about how great of a guy he was I had a couple good buddies on that staff, but meeting him, it just confirmed everything that we'd already heard. But it was great to spend some time with him and trying to get him up to speed here.
So there you go. Talking about Emeka and how excited he is about having him. And once again, the whole character issue that he fits in with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team, that he was, a product of Ohio State University. He's got great character. He can play multiple positions. I mean, that's what you're looking at. And that's what I think a lot of Bucs fans have to get excited about, because he's in the same mold as a Mike Evans. He's in the same mold as a Chris Godwin. Agree with that, Lou?
Yeah, absolutely. And he comes from a winning program, and that's huge. So, I mean, him coming in here, it's just going to be like a plug and play, man. And there's really no pressure because the two top guys are Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I keep saying this week after week, he gets to learn under Mike and Chris. And, again, I don't know where people are coming up with, this is a balance of power between Todd and Jason. No, man. Todd said it. Jason Light said it. They're going to take the best player available on their board. And Emeka Buka was the best player available on their board. They said it. Yeah. So, again, he comes from a winning program at Ohio State. And in my opinion, it's a good fit. And it may not be right away. Like it's kind of like the Jalen McMillan thing. A lot of people weren't too big on Jalen, but then at the end of the season, you really started to see him come on. Just because he started getting those reps with Baker Mayfield, and then guess what? 8 touchdowns later, and now he's going to be a freaking problem for the league, just like Emeka Buka. He's going to be a problem for the NFC South defenders, man. So, listen, if you're not happy about this pick, then I don't know what's going to make you happy.
Well, I don't know what you'd be. Again, I know there's a lot of people, a lot of fans out there that wanted an edge rusher, who wanted a corner early on, and it just didn't happen the way you want, or a linebacker in Jahad Campbell, and the Bucs weren't interested. They were interested in getting the best player on the board and getting a wide receiver that consequently, it's going to be your insurance policy if Chris Godwin can't come back, and also for the future, and also for the present. They're going to figure this out. I got a feeling they got a plan. Kyle says, Louie, I've been single for almost 12 years and been happy since then. Mike D. Roche, America, the land of second chances. Yes, it is. Good. Steve, Mike, Peter, does the Bucs win the NFC South this year? What's our record? 12-5. They do win the NFC South.
13-4 on paper for me.
4. Okay.
13-4 on paper for me.
What's up? Who will be the biggest competition in the NFC South this year? I think it's the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons swept this team. I'm not ready to buy Carolina, although they did play well. And I think in the same vein, a lot of people saying Carolina, here they are, playing well, like a young Bucs team in 96, getting that momentum and carrying it over. We'll see. That's
as long as they're not plagued by injuries. I think that's the only thing that would really hurt Carolina is if they're plagued by injuries. Or like Bryce Young goes down, or like one of their young wide receivers goes down. Outside of that, I still think Carolina is going to compete. I think they're
I know you're high on Carolina, so we'll see. And there's Fox Sports is high on Carolina. I think it will be Carolina. You may be right about that. All right, let's go out to Grizzard, talking about the offense, what he can do with it, what he's been able to do with it so far here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
It's been great from the time that we started this thing off. It wasn't like last year was how we wanted to end it. So everybody's hungry, and we started off talking about what it was to end the season and losing a home playoff game, and how that's not why we do what we're doing right now. So you can see the hunger in guys to be able to push on into the playoffs and make a run. And you can tell through the meeting rooms, the questions they're asking, the stuff we're getting done on the field has been, I wouldn't want to compare it exactly to this point last year, but you feel like you're even a step further because we didn't change a lot in the system. And now it can get into the nuances of route running and how we're hitting blocks and getting into the shape we need to get into. So they've been hungry. Nobody's resting on any of the statistical success we had last year, because ultimately, team-wise and in the playoffs, is far from what we're trying to do. What we've been harping on is that even though in different categories it was a good statistical year, but still at the end of the day, where the points per game can always go up. Essentially everything can go up. And through our fundamentals and techniques and asking the right questions and pushing the guy beside you, we don't look at it like the scheme is a scheme, but like, what can we do individually this time of the year to improve their fundamentals, because then that will allow for us to make a deeper run in the playoffs and score more points.
So there you go. I mean, and I think the impressive thing is that, again, you're not satisfied because, of course, being out in the first round is not what you want. Even though this is a top 3, top 5 offense in the National Football League last year, you still have a lot to improve on. He even mentioned it during his press conference. It's all about points per game and putting up more points. And you got to do that versus the Commanders team. You can't just score 20 points and expect to win. And you have all these weapons, a plethora, Leo word, of weapons on the outside. And you got a solid offensive line. You got a running back rotation. We'll get his thoughts on that. So there's still a lot of improvement. And I think the key thing for me that I took out of this is guys are hungry. They're participating in this. Baker Mayfield wants to learn the offense, even though, and he talks about it, it's kind of the same offense, but it's different terminology to a certain degree. But they are hungry. They do not want to rest on their laurels. Easy for me to say.
Yeah.
I
agree with you, but what I would say is this, that I hope it's not the same exact offense with a little bit of different terminology. I hope he kind of puts his own like little thumb on the offense, like his own like fingerprints on the offense, because you can't replicate what you did last year, because you're going to be way too predictable, if you will. So again, it is very positive to see Baker Mayfield and the guys out there trying to learn this offense. That's a huge positive, because like I said, I don't really see many teams right now doing that. I don't see players from other teams really doing that outside of maybe a few, if you will, because a lot of guys get comfortable. You can tell this team is not comfortable with what's been going on the past 2 years, because in all reality, Peter, we should have been in the NFC Championship 2 years in a row already. I mean, this is a team that should have been, outside of those 2 injuries last year with Mike and Chris. I mean, this is a team I thought that could have competed in the Super Bowl. Maybe if they played a little bit better defense, but the defense, honestly, Peter, started to come on towards the end of the season, outside of, that situation with I'm going to call them the Redskins. I don't care. With the Redskins, Commanders,
All right.
Redskins, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Tomato. We'll get out to Leo Haggerty here in just a moment. Let's go out to this guy.
Acknowledge me.
Let's go out to the tribal troll here, Mr. Roger Shue. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast. Go ahead, my friend.
Peter Blake, congratulations. The surprise is amazing.
Thank you. I thought you guys would like that. And again, is there a guarantee we're going to get every celebrity? I hope so. But what they've told me is a lot of those celebrities are going to come on the sports web, and we will be ready to interview them. We will be ready.
I'll be there.
All right. What else, man?
Nothing, man. I just wanted to say congrats. I know you got a busy show. I'll be watching.
All right. We will. We'll get to
So again,
Turnbuckle Talk.
congrats,
Thank
and
you, man.
I'll
Appreciate
talk to you tomorrow.
All right, good stuff there. Roger
call, man.
Shue. Yeah, the tribal troll right there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Get out to Leo in just a moment. Let's see. Christopher Cole says, Bowles said way before the draft they will be looking at wide receiver. He did. Steve Mike says, what's your thoughts on LeBron James? Doesn't show up in the fourth quarter. Mike, Kobe, LeBron, not even in the top 5. I completely agree with you. It's always Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, in my opinion. Disagree with me all you want to. If you want to, call the show and give me.
I agree.
Well, the
LeBron's
Bucs
not even in my top 20.
No, not at all.
No,
All
I
right.
just can't stand the dude.
I got
Who needs to bounce around team to team to win championship? That just shows me that you need another dude to win.
Yep.
Sorry.
I agree. Will the Bucs offense drop off without Cohen? We'll get back to that in a moment because we'll get out to what Grizzard had to say. Yes, it is. I believe that Grizz is going to have a style of offense that will evolve from last season. We like that word, evolution, evolve, right there.
Yeah.
Let's get out to a guy that's all about evolution on this show. Let's get out to the legend himself. Here we go.
Book him, Dano.
Yes, book him, Dano, right there. Mr. Leo Haggerty, former coach scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports. And I want to show you this because I think I showed you it before. But this is what we're going to be doing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, June 6th, June 7th, and June 8th. Here's our guest right there, Mr. Leo Haggerty. So as I put the invite out there to Harry the Greek, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, I put the invite out to you. If you make it out there to the Florida State Fairgrounds as a co-host, look at that list of celebrities that you get a chance to possibly interview here on the Evolution.
I see one name that's not going to want to talk to me. But
Who's that? Who's that?
JG.
Oh, yes, we do know that. So we'll see if we can get him on. I don't know. Well, maybe
I'll go out for lunch when he comes on. All right.
There you go. Exactly. All right. So with that being said, the big news of the day around the NFL. First, we learned this morning that Detroit is, I guess, and withdrawing their proposal for that ignorant, asinine re-playoff seeding. So now, and you told me what this morning when that news came down?
Do the math. It was simple. Again, right now, all you got to do is beat 3 teams to get a home playoff game. By this coming out, you got to beat 13.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And let's go back to last year. The Bucs aren't playing at home. They'd have won the division, but they had to go to Washington.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. So, it's funny because they probably wouldn't have gone to Washington. They may have gone someplace else because they'd have been, a 5th seed. Oh, man, that would have been crazy.
Yes, it would have definitely been crazy. And I think it comes down to money. And then also we hear today, Bucs are one of the 10 teams that voted against you keeping the tush push, voted against it. But the tush push, once again, will be in effect. Your thoughts on that?
Well, if you're going to do that in the NFL, you're going to tell Patrick Mahomes he can't throw sidearm. Mm-hmm. Are you going to tell Josh Allen that, okay, you can only run 5 yards, then you got to slide? If you can't stop it, fine. Now, you're going to see some very innovative ways to try and stop this.
What would you say if you're a coach? You're coaching this defense up. How would you stop this?
Real simple. I'd go with the fat push. I'd put somebody behind Vita Vea. I'd put somebody behind Watson, and they're going to push right into you.
Okay.
I don't know why they haven't thought about this, because the offense is going to try to get below you. Great. You got a missile coming at them then.
Right.
And you can either do that or just fall on the quarterback. That'll stop that in a hurry, because you don't want that quarterback to end up like a pancake.
Yeah, absolutely correct about that. Good stuff. All right. The other interesting news is the NFL approved in the grand scheme of things flag football in the Olympics. Now, we heard Mike Evans talking about this. They voted on Tuesday to allow player participation in the 2028 Summer Games, permitting up to one player per an NFL team to represent America at the Olympics. It marks the latest chapter in the ongoing effort by the NFL to embrace and elevate flag football's popularity, with the league executive Troy Vincent declaring back in 2022 that the no-contact version of the sport is the future of the game of football. I don't know if it's the future game of football, because I think at the end of the day, I love flag football, but I don't know if you can sell watching it. Can you sell the Olympics? And are you interested in this? One player per team, I guess a dream team, if you will. Leo and, of course, Louie, chime in on this. Would you want to see this? Are you worried about injuries happening? I mean, how does this all play out, Leo?
Flag football in the Olympics?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be open to see it, but I mean, if this is how the future of football is going to be, then it looks like I'm going to have to really stop liking a different sport, because I listen, at the end of the day, so it's like telling a boxer, hey, we're going to stop throwing so many punches during a fight, or, hey, we're not going to use that cross so much. If you're worried about injuries in football, then don't play football.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's no different than, it's the same thing. If you want to if you like doing jujitsu, but you don't want to fight, just go to classes and just roll around. That's it. It's the same thing. If you just want to learn how to box, buy a heavy bag and hit it at home. You know what you're getting into when you're playing football. I think people just need to stop trying to change the game so much. This is a violent sport. At the end of the day, it's a violent sport. You don't see hockey doing this. And this is why hockey is awesome. You don't see any of this bull crap. It's just the NFL. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's no more hand fighting. I remember watching Marvin Harrison and Ty Law kind of going at it and made the best man come down with the football. Now it's catering to, I get it. There's concussions. I can understand that aspect, but it's part of the game. Unfortunately, it's a vicious game. And you know what? It's up to these players to take care of their bodies, to get to, instead of investing in chains and cars, maybe put some of that money away towards like retirement, where your joints and your legs are taken care of and stuff like that. And it's football. Just shut up and play football, and that's it. If you're worried about getting injured, get off the field.
Yeah.
Don't even bother. You know what you're signing up for. And I don't like the fact that they keep trying to, I don't mean to ramble on, but I mean, it really pisses me off, because it's like they keep changing the game. Just leave it alone. Let it play as is. Guys will retire early, then guys will retire early, in my opinion.
Yep, agree. I got to go out to Instagram Live here. Benji says, just bring back the old Pro Bowl and call it a day.
Remember when Sean Taylor lit up that punter in the Pro Bowl? He was fine.
Can't have that anymore. You know why? Because it's an exhibition.
Pro Bowl's a joke.
I mean, Pro Bowl's a joke, but everybody's about this flag football. Mike Evans was excited about playing flag football. He may be retired from the Bucs by then, but maybe he stays around. I mean, Leo, are you interested in this? Do you think fans would be interested in this, if you will, when it comes to players representing their team in the Olympics?
If I'm an owner, I am not happy about this at all.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back. And again, I'm a dinosaur. I can go back to all these times.
You a dinosaur? Come on, man.
Dinosaur. How old do you like?
I can remember when the NFL and TV wanted to have a touch football game on the beach.
Right.
And a running back who had just got drafted in the first round real high. I think his name was Edwards.
Robert Edwards out of Georgia. Go ahead.
never plays it down because he blows his knee to smithereens. How would you like for in 2028 for one of the receivers, let's say it's Godwin then, because Evans may be retired. I don't want Godwin playing because some clown from Czechoslovakia or from Ethiopia or from Tunisia may decide, hey, look, I'm going to get on TV because I'm going to take his legs out.
Good point.
I just, no, we're not going to do it. And again, I write a column. What's broken needs fixing. This isn't broke, so don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, the NHL came up with a marvelous idea. The 4 nations face off because they realized that people were looking at the NHL All-Star Weekend as unwatchable. The NBA needs to come up with something because their All-Star Weekend is turn-offable. That's how bad that is.
They still have a All-Star game, Leo? Yeah. They still have an All-Star game? They still have a slam dunk contest?
Yeah.
That's how irrelevant that's been. But
they can't even spell defense, more or less play it.
No, they don't play.
I got a problem. I have a solution to solve this flag football situation because I agree with both of you guys. I wouldn't want my player to be as much as I want it to represent Team USA and stuff like that, but it's a liability in my opinion. You're paying these guys a lot of money. Yeah. It's a liability. If you want a collective group of players to represent Team USA, go to the collegiate level, the young men, and let them represent Team USA. Let some of the top prospects out of college, out of Ohio State, Alabama, let them go represent Team USA. If I'm an NFL owner, I wouldn't want a guy like a Baker Mayfield or even, like I said, a Chris Godwin or a Jalen McMillan maybe, or a Emeka Ibuka. Like, I wouldn't want my guys that are getting paid a good amount of money to blow out an ACL. It's a liability.
Agree. Want to go out to the comments here from these guys. Appreciate that, Benji, there on Instagram Live. Again, Facebook stars are open if you love the content. YouTube Super Chats. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast, along with the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, from a Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports. So that's good stuff there. Carl says, it's all about defense now. The offense is great. If this defense steps up, we go on a long playoff run, maybe another ring. That would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Agree with you on that. Exactly. Steve, I'll take Michael Vick over LeBron any day. Sean says, if contact moves out of football, I will go watch rugby. Football without contact is just horrible sounding. Agree. Lamar, you don't see rugby doing flag rugby. You don't. That's like MMA just playing patty cake. The sport will die. You know what?
Peter, can I jump in real quick?
Please go for it, Leo.
Here's what you do with flag football. You make it a women's sport. That's a simple fix. The men play real football. The women play flag football. End of story. Drop the mic.
All right. So there's the solution for you. But again, there have been players that are interested in this. And really quick, this is what CBS put together. CBS Sports, a projection. The quarterback would be Jaden Daniels. The running back, Jamar Gibbs. The other running back, wide receiver, would be Devin A-Chain from the Dolphins. Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Travis Hunter as your third wide receiver or defensive back. Micah Parsons as a rush. I don't know how the rush works with the flag football. Nolan Smith Jr., Derek Stingley Jr. as a corner, and Maxwell Hairston with the Bills. And what I noticed is a lot of speed here. That's what they're looking at. I don't necessarily think these are their best players at their positions, but a lot of speed, and that's what it comes down to. That's a good comment, Sean. We'll get back to that in a moment because there's a reason for that. You kind of stole my thunder. We'll talk about Josh Grizzard and what he had to say about Baker Mayfield, and then we'll get out to Turnbuckle Talk. I see you, bodyguard of the Berg. Stand by. Louie, I completely agree with you. Let the college kids represent USA. Give them the opportunity to show what they can do. And the NFL for sure. Let's get out to what Grizzard had to say about Baker Mayfield. And the reason why this is important is because it's kind of some of the things we have been talking about on this show and what you kind of want to eliminate from Mayfield and possibly an injury situation here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
Yeah, it's something we talked about from the start, and that is he's always been a great leader, but it's not like there's a ceiling on his ability to do that. So it is his offense, it's been his offense, but then now taking that and giving it to the rookies. And then just harping on, he plays the game like a UFC fighter and trying to take a couple of the hits off of him, and not playing like that all the time. And we addressed not only him, but with the whole unit on the turnovers were unacceptable from, it's not just him or the backs or the receivers, but being something that needs to go down from what it was last year. But it's been open dialogue with all those guys, and they've taken to it, and we've harped on it, and they've done a good job so far in some of the drills we've been doing. Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying what he's able to do for the rookies. I know him talking to Emeka the night he got drafted and spending time with him the next day when he's able to get to Tampa. But he makes it go. It all goes through him. He's the one that runs the show, and they all gravitate towards him, and rightfully so. And you can tell that he's just even more comfortable in that and having the success he's had. And those guys leaning on him because they know they can trust him, and he's got their best interests at heart.
So there you go. Calls him an MMA guy, and they want to eliminate those hits. This is what we kind of talked about here, Leo. This is how you avoid an injury. We love Baker Mayfield and what he does on 3rd and 4th down, but you want to live to fight another day. And then, of course, also you want to limit those turnovers, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Turnovers are poison.
Yes.
Injuries are poison. You got to try to avoid it as much as possible, especially when you're under center. You're the guy. And everybody talks about having competition in camp and all that other thing. The coach wants competition at 21 positions. He doesn't want a quarterback. He wants his guy to walk in and take charge. And that's exactly what Grizzard was saying. Hey, he's the guy that people are gravitating to. And, Peter, we had a real interesting conversation online today, too, about making this squad. There's 47, maybe 48 positions that are frozen right now. They're going to make the club.
Yeah.
There's only about 5 or 6 openings to get in. So you better make some splash plays real quick.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that. Steve says we need a better backup for quarterback for Trask. Can't play in the NFL. He's not an NFL quarterback, but again, re-signed, knows the offense. That's the reason why he's on this team in the first place.
That was a Jason Light decision too.
That's it.
Well, you know what, guys? And we don't know. That's the biggest problem. You don't know if he's an NFL quarterback. That's the biggest thing. You need to find out.
Yeah,
that's just a lot of he say, she say stuff. A lot of people think, oh, Trask can't play. Listen, if he couldn't play, he wouldn't be in the NFL. You just can't believe everything you see out there. I mean, I was reading an article because obviously I'm trying to launch the 508 podcast here for the New England Patriots with somebody else. And believe it or not, you want to hear something crazy? We were reading something that somebody posted. They said the New England Patriots should move on from Drake May after 1 year because he threw 4 interceptions in a camp. Let me say that one more time. They should move on.
We heard the same thing about Jameis Winston.
We heard it about Baker too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought in camp Kyle Trask beat him out. And the reason why Baker got the spot was, because he didn't earn it because he had the experience, which he did have the experience, but he earned it. People were freaking out. Oh, Kyle Trask had a great camp. There's a reason why he's a backup quarterback in the first place. Has he gotten a shot? No, he hasn't. And that was a Jason Light decision to re-sign him in the first place. So
I just got to be careful, man. But to hear a guy that you drafted last year who did pretty decent considering the circumstances. Oh, he threw 4 interceptions during mini camp.
Yeah.
God.
Time to move on from them. Time to move on.
All right, let's go out to Josh Grizzard and what he had to say about the advantage of the offense here. I want to get your thoughts on this here on the evolution.
There are. I would say the players know that there are based on the installs and things we've done. If you just went out and watched what we just did, I don't think you would look at it as overly different. But it's just more in the schematics and behind the closed doors of nuance changes and a couple of the way things are called. But in terms of how it would look just watching it, I don't think you'd see a whole lot of difference. When we show a slide up there of a run concept or what we're doing in our drop back protection or a route concept, unless we slightly change the name of it, they should know the fundamentals of what that is. And it really just allows them to be coaches as well, to be able to now help Mech, help Tez, help some of the Josh coming in at halfback, to them be the coaches as well, versus they're just trying to take care of their business last year.
So there you go. I mean, it should have an advantage because you're not learning basically a new offense. It is different terminology, correct, Leo?
Peter, that's just as bad. I was hoping to hear that everything was going to be copacetic, that there wasn't going to be any change in verbiage or that. You start changing verbiage all of a sudden, and I can remember Tom Brady, the GOAT, standing up there week 9 saying, I still have to take, when the play comes in and think, oh, I'm not thinking Patriots, I got to think Bucs. And that was 8 weeks into the season. And again, everybody talks about, Brady. Finally, when they had that bye week and they could self-scout, which you don't have time to do when you're playing every 4, 5, 6, 7 days. When you got that 14-day window, you can self-scout and you can figure out, okay, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And the biggest problem you're going to see is you still got a new guy there. We talk about Detroit. They lost 2 quarters. Well, the Bucs lost 1.
Right.
And they lost 1 the year before. And that's tough because he's going to have his little idiosyncrasies. He's going to have his little, ideas. Everybody does. I mean, if I was coming in as the offensive coordinator, if I was on the team last year, I'd have to, okay, guys, 90% of this is going to be the same, but there's going to be 10% that's going to be, book it, Dano.
I love it. Good stuff. All right, let's go out to Grizzard. I think they kind of have an advantage. That's what he's kind of looking at because they do know this offense. You don't have to learn a new offense, even though it is a new offensive coordinator. He did run the 3rd down, which was very successful, one of the top units in the National Football League. I think that's the advantage that this Bucs team has. But again, it may be a situation. Do you think they get off and running, Louie and Leo? Leo, do you think they get off and running, or do you think they have a slow start like Canales and a little bit like Cohen to a certain degree, or do they get off to a fast start? Do they get off to where they're just throwing the ball all over the parking lot, where they're running the ball, where they're able to do whatever they want to against an opposing defense?
Define getting off to a fast start. If you're talking 2-2, 3-1, okay, I could see that. I don't see them going 4-0. That's just not going to happen.
Offensive numbers, points per game. You think those points per game go up, or do you think they struggle?
The first 4 games, they're going to struggle. That's just the nature of the beast. But I'll tell you what, once they get everybody on, on task and everything now, here's your problem. You can't get ready to play until you actually play. So, we're going to talk about practices. We're going to talk about this. But they're not going to be able to assimilate game speed until they play a game. And the biggest problem, Peter, that teams are going to have is trying to play 60 plays, 70 plays, because they're going to be playing maybe 20, 25 in preseason, and then you got to shoot up to 60. That's why the football is so bad the first 4 weeks of the season. People don't tackle well. People run out of gas. And you know what? I don't know if there's anything around that'll change it. Because coaches are not going to put guys out there in what's looked at as meaningless exhibition games.
Makes sense. Louie, how do you feel about this?
It's, again, Peter, for me, it's tough to tell just because we haven't seen anything in the preseason. But from what it looks like to me, if I had to take a guess, I think they're going to start off a little bit slow because week 1 is Atlanta. They have to really put in the work during the preseason, getting that real live game experience, in my opinion. They can't be afraid. I understand the cliche, well, you can't get you guys hurt in the preseason. I get that. But this team, if they're running on all 8 cylinders, then I'd say, all right, keep the preseason to a minimal. But if they're not, I think you got to kind of really like have them out there a little bit, and because week 1 is the most important game of the schedule, in my opinion. It's going to set the tone for the rest of the year. I feel like if the Buccaneers come out flat-footed against the Atlanta Falcons, it's going to really set the tone, and it's going to be tough. And you cannot go down early in the NFC South, in my opinion, right now, because you have the Panthers and the Falcons that are going to compete with us. So I think they have the potential to pick up right where they left off, but I'm kind of leaning more towards, I think the defense, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, I think the defense might carry them a little bit in the beginning of the season. I want to say the first 4 games.
I like that a lot. All right, we'll get out to Josh Grizzard and what he had to say about the running backs in just a moment, and I promise Ralph Williams Turnbuckle Talk, which we're going to try to keep at a minimum tonight. Let's see.
A lot of news, though, with Turnbuckle Talk, though. Carrying Cross.
There is. Carrying Cross. Not all change is bad, says Jim Melvin. Better helmets are good. Better pads are good. Not leading with your helmet. Hitting a defenseless player is good. Not hitting a quarterback in the knees is good. There are compromises that can be made without ruining the game. That's a good point. It's definitely a good point.
Yeah.
Look at all the crap they talked about Worthy, and he did great. David says, do you think Dean or Dennis will be the starters week 1? I think Savasi Dennis will be the starter week 1. I'm not sure about Dean at this point. We want to comment on that. To be determined, I think.
To be determined. Again, we got to see the preseason. We got to see how Morrison and Parrish play, in my opinion. I think if Morrison blows you away, I think Dean's going to be on the outside looking in, unless him and Morrison can really coexist. Don't count Parrish out. Yeah, Parrish is very feisty.
Yeah,
he's going to be like a pit bull on that defense.
Dennis and Dean, the 2 Ds there. What do you think?
Wow, I got to see some tape first. We're to a point you got to see that, and we're talking about things, and the problem is you got to talk about something, and right now there's nothing to talk about. Other than, we're summarizing last season.
Yeah.
We're extrapolating into this season.
Listen to you.
And it's just everything right now. It's a conundrum. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Leo, you got me rethinking my whole vocabulary now.
He's a wordsmith at this point. We got Leo Haggerty, the legend himself.
Book him, Dano.
All right. Christopher Cole, NFL and the Olympics just takes away from the regular flag football players. Lamar says, I like that during the camps, players are being so much more vocal with each other. Previous season, especially on defensive side of the ball, now will be great to see them apply everything they learned prior to the season start live. Thank you very much, Lamar, for the comments. Let's hear from new offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard on what he thinks about this running game, if you will, on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
It was getting to the point where the scheme was molded to fit what the O-line was good at, what the backs were good at, and that's how we left the season, so we can now have a starting point for what we feel like was put our players in the best position to make plays. So you can always improve that. There's always new things. I mean, I know we're talking about the combine and the draft, but we spend a lot of time looking around the NFL for different schemes that we feel like can be implemented. We watch so much tape on the college prospects that we picked up 4 to 5 plays just watching Emeka's tape or Tez's tape on things that we've already implemented. So you can find it from anywhere. We had international coaches in here the last couple of weeks, and so they've got things that we've never heard of, so you can get it from anywhere. Yeah, I would say how we ended last season was essentially where we would take off. But to your point, there's a spot for all 3 of those guys. You can see, of course, what Bucky can do and being in his rookie year, but what Rashad brings to the table from a pass-catching standpoint and even in the run game. But really good route runner. We all know he's really good with the ball in his hands on screens, drop-back pass game. And I don't want to compare him to a lot of other guys, but he is close to, if not as good as anybody we see in terms of pass protection in the NFL. So that is a testament to what he can do from understanding blitz patterns, the communication with Bake and Graham and the O-line. So he's done an unbelievable job with that. And about Tuck as well. I know he had the opportunities there in New Orleans and a couple games down the stretch, but he's looked really good in the drills we've been doing right now. So hoping to see an increased role for Sean as well.
So there you go. I mean,
That
it's
tells me a lot.
I mean, for me, it's White, because we always talk about people go,
yeah,
why is he not on the trade block? Why is he still on this team? When are you going to get rid of him? So he mentioned it. Pass protection. He means a lot to this team when it comes out of the backfield and catches the ball. He does those things that Bucky necessarily can't do yet. He does those things that Sean Tucker can't necessarily do yet. Louie, you kind of talked about White, maybe being traded or not, but he means a lot to this team, and this offensive coordinator just put it out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more of Rachaad White this year. I mean, he's in a contract here, if I'm not mistaken. He can pick up the blitz. I mean, and to go back and when I was saying, hey, I think we should trade him. You don't trade a guy like that unless you're getting a Max Crosby draft type of deal in place, because the kid can do it all, and he's been here for quite some time now. He was here when Brady was here. So, and like I said, one of the best qualities of Rachaad White is what? It's not really catching the football. It's picking up the blitz, picking and protecting the quarterback. There's been so many times where I've seen this kid pick up a blitz. I mean, he laid Micah Parsons on his ass. So he's very good in that department, and the versatility going back to catching out of the backfield, that's huge too, because he can catch the ball out of the backfield on a 3rd and 15 and turn it into a first down. We've seen him do that plenty of times. I think he's very important to this offense, in my opinion. Also, I think we're going to see a lot more of him, and I think we're going to see a little bit more of Sean Tucker. And I would like to see a little bit more of Sean Tucker, because Leo, Peter, I've been saying this. You cannot do what you did with to Bucky Irvin, what you did to Cadillac Williams, to LaDainian Tomlinson, those guys. You cannot run those guys into the ground. They are special for a reason. You got to keep them fresh. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of Rachaad White, a little bit more of Sean Tucker as well, keeping Bucky fresh, because Bucky's going to get his stats regardless.
Yeah, Bucky's going to get his stats, and that's what you don't want to do. Even though Bucky's your number one running back, you don't want to run him out there, and that's the reason why, Leo, you need 2 or 3 good running backs, and a lot has been made about Sean Tucker and the potential. We saw that last year versus the Saints there. I believe it was week 5, week 6, NFC Player of the Week. I mean, he's fluid. He can catch the ball. He's
142 yards rushing that game.
Yeah, I mean, you hear whispers that they think they got something there with Tucker. So, what do you do with this running back room if you're Grizzard and Todd Bowles? I mean, it's a great problem to have.
Yeah. The biggest problem you have right now is White is an every down running back. He can run the football, he can catch the football, and he can pass protect. Here's a great one, guys. You know who the best back the Bucs ever had at pass protection? This is going to drive you nuts. Warwick Dunn.
Yes.
Warwick Dunn was the best pass protector as a back. He would stick his head right between a guy's numbers and drill him. The little guy knew how to block. But the problem is right now, the other 2 guys, Bucky and Tucker, they're not every down back. They still don't have all 3 components. When they get to that all 3 components, now you're going to see what you want. A really good running back room where you just keep guys fresh. Guys will get, maybe 15, 16 touches, and then the guy who's the hot hand in the 4th quarter, he's going to finish out the game.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. I'm calling the left-hander in because I could tell, Leo, right now, you gave us all your time that you could. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution, my friend.
Well, we have USF Golf is out on the West Coast. They're in the NCAA Nationals. So they'll be out there. I've been posting up. I put up yesterday the one kid they got from India. They call him the Tiger Woods of India, which is crazy. But whatever. But I put up assistant coach today, and tomorrow I'll put up the head coach. But had a nice conversation with those guys. And you know what, fellas? When you're done watching the sports web, you got to watch this war that's in New York. The Knicks and the Pacers. My Lord. It's like a street fight. I look like I'm watching a playground game. Call your own foul. That's pretty much it. But guys, it's been a pleasure. Always on with the hardest working duo with Tampa Bay sports, fellas. I will talk to you Monday.
Sounds good, my friend. Leo Haggerty, and of course, welcome on June 6th, 7th, and 8th, especially that Saturday. But you come out that Friday. I'm taking off of work on Friday, 2 to 8. And anytime we always get together, we always eat. So maybe there's some food out there, food around the Florida State Fairgrounds. It's going to be Levante David, Tristan Wirfs that Friday. And again, that Saturday, man, I'm telling you, it's stacked up. I mean, Jose Canseco, Jalen McMillan, Brad Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kalijah Cansey, there we go. Christian Itzy and Orlando Hernandez, Phil Esposito, Ruben Sierra, John Gruden, Ian Book, Bucky Irving, Desmond Watson, and Elijah Roberts. And then Sunday, Langway, Hawkins, DeBron Hampton, Nick Anderson, former Magic, Sam Perkins, former Laker and Tar Heel, Cedric Maxwell, former Florida Gator, and of course, Houston Rocket and Aaron Childs. So more than
Peter, are they going to let you broadcast from out there too?
They are letting me broadcast. Yes.
Wow.
Live with celebrities.
Right.
Yes.
Take care, guys. I'll put it on the calendar right now.
All right. Good
Perfect.
stuff there. The legend right there.
Book him, Dano.
He's out of here. We'll get out to Turnbuckle Talk in just a moment. Let's read these comments. Always love reading comments from the webheads here. Hope you guys are happy with that surprise. You got 53 players on a roster, but most teams are lucky to have 10 great players. The regular season about the great players. The team with the most great players will click the fastest early on. Very good stuff there, Jim.
Oh,
We've had you on here before. We're going to get you on again. All three of our running backs have their particular talents that suit the Bucs. Well, in the way they run their running game, Bucky inside, gone, white block catch after the block, run or outside run. Tucker, he's just a bully. I would use Tucker like in the fourth quarters, possibly a part of the third. They try to do that. The problem with Tucker is, as talented as he was, he did somewhat at times. He did maybe that one time there put the ball on the ground. I think that's what you're trying to avoid, the turnover situation. You're also trying to. White even did it in the Dallas game. And remember that, trying to do too much, trying to reach for that first down. I understand it. Excuse me. I need some water or something. But yeah, I mean, they've got a good problem, and that's how you can stay healthy. Definitely want to see more of Tucker. So I'm a hollow for your time, Leo. Appreciate you, Lamar.
Oh, yeah.
Lamar again. Peter, how do you think the tight end room can improve? Louie,
I
I'm going
think
to
it's already improved.
Yeah,
I mean, it's improved, man. You've seen Cade Otton. Cade Otton really grew on me. I love Cade. Think about it. We relied on a rookie wide receiver. We relied on Sterling Shepard to step up. They didn't step up in that time frame, and we had Bucky Irving, a rookie running back. And then out of nowhere, you had Cade Otton. Just what did he have? Like 11 catches that game, a touchdown or two. He really stepped up, and not just him. Payne Durham stepped up. Culp stepped up. Culp, I'm really excited about this year. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He's a big dude, man. I think the tight end room is fine. You know what the problem is? I just think that fans haven't really seen too much of these guys, like how Peter and myself really analyze everything. Like, I'll go back and watch the All 22. Like, that's something I'm going to do on the Frozen Pirate podcast, depending on what the copyright stuff is. But that's something I want to do, like a coach's take, and show you guys what really goes into plays and stuff like that. And you'd be amazed. And I paid attention to the tight ends, man. And that kid Colt, he's pretty damn good. And Cade Otton, like, we'll do some stuff, man. We'll see. But I'm telling you, that tight end room is A-okay. And there's I'm not going to use a Leo word because I'll probably butcher it, but there is a ton of weapons for Baker Mayfield on this offense.
Absolutely. All right. Code 2. There you go. Right there. Let's go out to Turnbuckle Talk. We have not had this guy on for a little bit. There is some news out there. Don't know if we can do that shot though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so.
Let's go ahead. Oh, look at that right there. Turnbuckle Talk, welcome back. Bodyguard of the Berg, but you're not in the Berg anymore. What's going on, man? What's new with you?
Oh, not much. I moved to Ocean City, Maryland, man. I wanted to be on the coast and enjoy my life, and here we are. So,
Yep, here we are. We're going to go with that 3 shot. We don't want to cut off your head here, but let's go out to Lamar.
All right.
I feel we're going to see a lot more of Culp. Definitely 7th round pick has the potential. So we'll shift gears here. The unfortunate thing was that my paper in my printer ran out, so I couldn't print some of the things I wanted to print when it comes to Turnbuckle Talk. Louie's got me on this, but Zoe Stark made a statement. Of course, the terrible injury, which is reminiscent of Sid Vicious in WCW. Who could forget that? Jumping off the top rope and seeing his leg just go a different direction. If you're squeamish, not a good situation there. This kind of same situation happened with Zoe Stark. She had this to say with the terrible injury. The love and support means more to me than you ever know. What hurts more is that my knee, knowing I won't be able to perform for all of you in a while. I love what I can do. I'm blessed to do this. As the saying goes, the comeback is greater than the setback. Love you guys. And there you go. That was Zoe Stark. So your thoughts? Yes, and absolutely. R.I.P. Sabu, which I know we talked about last week as he passed away. But Zoe Stark, they are unfortunate, really starting to make some hay, if you will, Louie, in a talented women's wrestler, and then a dramatic injury like that. Looks like she's going to miss some time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I wouldn't put it up there with Sid Vicious's knee injury, because that was pretty brutal. I mean, even to this day, I don't like seeing it. That was brutal because we saw it snap. Zoe's is pretty bad. But in this day and age, the way, the doctors are, the way the medical is now, the medicines and the surgeries and all that stuff, it's pretty damn good. I mean, you take it back to football, ACL back in the day, you tore your ACL, your career was over. Now it's 6 to 9 months, It's unfortunate because she's very talented, and it sucks because it couldn't be worse timing, because this is a time where weeks after WrestleMania, you start to see some stars start to emerge a little bit, and then the momentum goes with them. And I feel like she was one of them. I wanted to see her more in the women's division, as far as competing for a title, if you will, because I think she's got it. And this is just a terrible, terrible setback for her.
Yeah, it is. Ralph, your thoughts when you saw the injury, man? Definitely dramatic. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Can we, Ralph, you know what? Finish your thought, and then we'll get out to our special guest over here. But go ahead, Ralph. Finish your thought, please.
Yes, I think Zoe Starks, it's sad to see what happened. She had to reinvent herself because Shayna Baszler got cut from the roster. And so, now she has to go back to being a singles wrestler. And here's the interesting thing, guys. And the fact of the matter is they haven't done anything with her for a little while here. And it just, they drag some people out. They put some people in. They fire people, or they let people go. It just gets old. But it was sad because now she has another setback in trying to move ahead of the game, as far as the wrestling world goes.
All right, Louie, do me a favor. Go ahead and kill that Turnbuckle Talk, because this guy does not talk wrestling, but we got to get him on here really quick. Give me the 4 shot here. Give me the 3 shot real quick. Give me that 3 shot. See, he's producing here on there. He's learning. All right, let's see here. No, that won't work.
What's he doing? Learning on the fly there, Peter, huh?
Yeah, he's learning on the fly at this point. Let me come back here. All right, so let's
go add him to the stage. That's what it's going to come down to.
Go ahead and go ahead and take that sports web off, because I don't think that fits at all. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and go out to him. Handicapper extraordinaire, Mr. Harry.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Says Dick the Bruiser. He's Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser.
You don't say that.
There you go. So, Dick the Bruiser, welcome to the Evolution tonight.
Are you talking to me?
And
yeah, I'm talking to you.
That's it. Yes, brother.
Dick, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Watch this.
What is your name?
I told you.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
It does not matter what your name is, although it does matter what your name is on this show, Greek. So really quick, because I know that you are a man that doesn't have that much time, but we appreciate the time that you're giving us, and we know that you're not going to talk wrestling. So let's talk about the NFL. We'll get back to Turnbuckle Talk in just a moment. What did you think about what happened today in the National Football League? We talked about playoff reseeding. Not going to happen because the Lions withdrew it. And then the tush push, once again, in effect, as teams like the Bucs voted against it, but it still rings true here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome to the Evolution.
Peter, Ralph, really nice seeing you. Louie, my brother, man, it's always great to jump on here.
Thank you, Harry.
I did not get to see any of the new changes, if there were any changes. But from what you're telling me, the tush push is still in there.
Yes, it is.
Then I think there's going to be some general managers and some head coaches that possibly got a little idea from the way Louie and I said how it should be handled.
Yeah.
Because the tush push will go away on its own. Like I said, Louie.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? What do you think you would do if you were a defensive coordinator?
Load up that front, and I'd have one of my probably the most hard hitting dude, if not safety, just come flying and lay out that quarterback. Even if you get the 15-yard penalty, that kid's going to think twice. He's going to think twice. He's not going to want to do that.
I gotta read this comment here. Aloha Dick. So
Aloha Dick. I don't know who Lamar is. But what's happening? And by the way, Louie, when he's telling you to go through the tree shot, can you see the 4 squares where Peter and everybody is at?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, do you see just below it, you got a single person, then you got a double, and then there's another double. It's the third one that's highlighted right now with the circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's talking about right there. So if you go that route,
yeah,
we're in right here,
this
is how we were at. But if you went to the one here, now that fills up everything, now you don't see anything. It's always the third one right there. The one to the right of it, it just makes Peter the highlight, and then the rest of us are on the end. Now we can just do it the other way around.
Okay.
So, here's the way we go with it. Sorry, it's Turnbuckle Talk, so we can do this on the fly, right, Ralph?
It's a bot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, I'm going to include Ralph in this because there was talk of that playoff reseeding not happening because your favorite coach, Mike Tomlin, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were also against that. Let's talk about this.
Did they do the reseeding? Did that pass?
It did not pass
No,
because
it did
the
not
Lions
pass.
withdrew it. And one of the rumors out there, it was Mike Tomlin was against it. And basically, Leo said it best. It's all about the Benjamins, right? A little P. Diddy reference. I'm not necessarily sure how that's going to end up.
I wouldn't be bringing up P. Diddy right now after the news that I heard about him today.
Hey, man, I wouldn't mind going to one of his parties. I think that would have been hell.
Peter suck right there.
Literally.
Peter wouldn't have been he wouldn't have minded a little freak off. Seriously,
oh
man,
my God. Enough with you. Let's talk to Ralph here.
Hey,
Mike
Tomlin, man, got plenty of baby oil laying around. Come on, bro.
Jeez, man. Really, seriously. Here's what I think about you.
Shut up.
All right.
A little bit of these. I mean, everybody's good. Baby oil and that. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh. It's disturbing. To say the least of what's going on right now and what we're hearing.
Oh, did you hear what he liked?
No.
Listen,
I heard some of it.
It's not against the law to have freak-offs, guys. Okay,
no, it's not.
But it is against a lot of traffic, the whole 9 yards. And remember, this is all alleged. This doesn't make it factual. Yes, did he beat that girl? Yes, we all seen that with our own eyes. But
pull up P. Diddy, please. Yeah, we're not bringing that up, but go ahead. Yes.
But seriously, did he? Did he beat the woman? Yeah, he's seen it on camera, but nobody knows what happened before. Nobody knows what happened after. That's why I hate watching stuff in the media. Just get to the conclusion. Let's figure it out. If he's a sicko, big deal.
Yeah.
Things definitely get blown out of proportion. Prime example, like the situation with, I think it's Taylor Swift. There was a bone or a leg found at her Westerly, Rhode Island shoreline, the sacrifices and all this stuff. Everybody out there, stop believing what you read on the internet. 'Cause I'm going to tell you what's going on. Is there bodies, parts being, found in
Washed up on
Massachusetts
shore?
and Rhode Island? Absolutely, because there is, unfortunately, a serial killer on the loose. That's a real thing. You guys can look that up. There's body parts and human remains popping up everywhere. And they tell people don't go hiking and stuff like that because they don't know who it is, who's behind it. But it just so happens some body parts.
There's murders every day that people don't know what the hell happened. There's so
it's
many.
Just you know how it is.
Mysteries,
Like once one of these things start to happen, but the whole P Diddy thing, man, it is a little disturbing. Some of the stuff that you hear.
It can be, but you know what? Again, this is alleged, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody, we automatically condemn the guy. Look, you know what? You can't condemn. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. Pete Rose, really good friend of mine. God rest his soul. Everybody in this panel knows him, except Louie knows that I knew the man and I've hung out with the man for many, many, many years. You know what? He was the most degenerate, sick gambler you've ever met in your life. But you know what? He did get 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about P. Diddy real quick. I don't mind. I'll go political as much as you want. I could care less. You can never take away the kind of artist that he was. He was a great lyricist, the guy was great at so many things. Okay. So he had a little bit of a sick side. So, is it against the law? No. Again, don't believe everything you hear on the internet.
Well,
read
it
on
goes,
the internet and
goes,
don't believe everything
listen,
you see
it
on
goes
TV.
back to R. Kelly, as talented as an artist as he was.
There's a big difference, man, with R. Kelly. Now, there's some disturbances about Justin Bieber. I don't know if that's true.
Again, these are just rumors and speculation, but you're exactly right. It's salacious, and it's here on the sports web. Let's go out, salacious.
Can't believe we're talking about it in the sports web.
We did marriage counseling last week, right? Was that true?
Oh,
yes, we took some marriage counseling.
I got some heat for that.
From who?
Oh, boo-hoo.
Somebody said, "Is that really how you feel?" And I was like, "No, I don't feel that way about all women."
Oh, yes, he does actually.
No,
he's a misogynistic,
no,
womanizer. You just don't. If you're interested in this guy up here, be careful.
No,
be very careful.
I'm definitely not. I definitely have experience.
There's a reason why he's never put a ring on anybody's finger.
It's because I'm selective and I don't want to deal with the insanity. Stop the insanity. Let's go out to
hold on before you do that. Look, just trust this face. Okay, just trust this face.
I'm a lunatic because I got to do a show with you, of course.
That's true.
Wrestling Mount Rushmore. This is a good one, Mike DeRoche. Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, Undertaker. Greek, you want to comment on this?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
I would rather have Hulk Hogan.
Okay, hold on.
Dusty Rhodes.
Whoa.
Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, and who's that actor now? What the hell is his name?
The Rock.
The Rock, and one more. Who's the other one that played on all the Fast and Furious? What the hell was his name?
John Cena.
Oh, John Cena.
Yeah, that's it. John Cena.
Wow, John Cena.
Wow.
That's my Mount Rushmore, baby. See, I know a little bit about wrestling, right, Ralph?
Look at that,
Yes,
Ralph.
exactly.
What do you think?
Yes, you do.
Mount
Tell him,
Rushmore.
Ralph.
Oh, you want my Rushmore? Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and let's see here. There's a bunch I could probably name, and Ric Flair.
All right, Louie, do it.
It's tough, man. I want to say it's got to be Hulk Hogan.
It's gonna be tough on the sports web, okay?
I'm gonna say Hulk Hogan.
Corns and lollipops on this show. Go ahead.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Obviously, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, just because of the simple fact Stone Cold he was the blueprint of the FU era.
Yeah.
And kind of not went rogue, but that famous Austin 316 means I just whooped your ass. That was kind of unheard of to even say anything like that. Yeah, he definitely changed the wrestling business there. And I say the Undertaker because of the amount of respect and the leadership, and the guy overall outside of wrestling, he is a bad mother effer, dude. He can throw down. And it's cool listening to his podcast.
Did I have a good Mount
anybody who
Rushmore
can drink Jack Daniels like that?
Yeah,
on the fly is okay.
Louie,
in my book.
did you like the Greeks Mount Rushmore? I love that Mount Rushmore. Although
For
John
Harry,
Cena,
for Harry, I mean that's good. I respect his opinion.
All right, Ralph looks amazed. Jim says Jesse Ventura. Okay, Sun Devil Dave, Hogan, Flair, Rock, and Austin, Cena. What about Sting? What about Undertaker?
Oh yeah, Undertaker. Who was that big
What
tall
about
Russian
Shawn
dude? What was
Michaels?
his name? The Slavic dude, the really big tall guy. Andre the Giant, man.
Andre the Giant. Listen
Oh
to
yeah.
you.
How about
He
that,
knows
man?
some history. Yes,
How
going
about
all the way.
Andre?
Yeah, female Mount Rushmore. We haven't done that yet. And then mom right there. Love you, mom. And they're saying I'm a
Female
lunatic
Mount
and I'm
Rushmore.
crazy. Watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web, Amped Up Sports, Harry the Greek, Louie, Ralph Williams, as we get Harry the Greek on to talk Turnbuckle Talk on a Wednesday night here, which I'm amazed that he's still on with us. He came on as Dick
Hang
the
on.
Bruce.
I got to go get my rosary because no one's going to believe this.
Oh, my God. All right, let's go out to Lamar here. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Ultimate Warrior.
No,
Okay,
not the Warrior.
That's different.
Yeah,
What
there's
are we
a lot of Mount Rushmores on this.
Yeah.
That's okay. Andre the Giant was from France. What are we doing with
kitty?
Oh yeah, this is Turbo. He wants to say hello.
Oh geez, you know, really.
F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm gonna go have a Guinness.
Sorry, I got to use JP's on that. That's funny.
JP?
All right,
Who's that?
oh JP.
Hey, Peter,
Peterson.
that's your dog's cat friend there, isn't it?
No, my dog would go after every cat at this point. He does
Yeah.
that, and he's awful too about it. Like he's 76
Bring
pounds.
Alexander over to my house. I'll show you how that stops really quick.
Oh yeah, how's it stop?
You have no clue, buddy. One time. That's all it takes. One time from one of my 18-pound cats.
Yeah.
They're fast as lightning. They catch them in the nose just right. The dog starts sneezing, and every time the cat looks at you, the dog goes.
I used to have a Bengal cat. That was a big girl.
Dude, I'm telling you, everybody thinks dogs tear up cats. That's just not the case. Dogs.
Yeah, my dog won't go near cats. He's about 80 pounds. He's an American bulldog. He's a big boy. He's got a big blockhead, very intimidating looking, but he's the most friendliest dog.
They get one interaction with a cat, and that's all it takes. But dogs don't realize that, if they, if the cat runs away, the dog's going to chase. When the cat stays there, the dog's like, huh?
Yeah, they don't grasp it.
No,
he messed around and found out one time, and that's all it took for him.
Rob
F around
Thompson,
and
from
find
True
out.
Life, right there. We love you, brother. George the Animal Still. So there you go.
Yeah.
I actually met
that?
George the Animal Still. A famous wrestler. Met him along with Lanny Poffo, the genius.
Hey, someone agrees with me.
There you go. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Jake the Snake, and Mankind.
Wow.
Listen, I watched this the other night. Mankind, Mick
whatever
Foley.
his name was, Dude
Yes.
Love, every other name you had.
One of the greatest matches of all time, and it could have been horrific for him because I was watching Dark Side of the Ring. Him against The Undertaker in Hell in the Cell, and I don't know if
In
you've ever
Pittsburgh.
seen this, Greek. Yes. The
That
Undertaker
definitely took some years off his life.
takes Mick Foley and throws him into like a little broadcasting desk, and it's how many feet in the air is this
20
guy's?
feet. It was 20 feet.
feet in the air. And by the way, Undertaker is wrestling with a broken leg at the time. I don't know if people know this. This is why he could be considered one of the greatest of all time. Just longevity alone and what he meant to the locker room and WWE and everything else.
Complained once.
And then you have Mick Foley who comes out. He has a concussion, goes back in, gets power bombed through the cage, and still is able to finish that match. And they're taking him out.
That was choke slam.
Yes.
The cage gave way.
Yes. Well, yeah.
And
it was a choke slam, or was it?
It was a choke slam. I'm pretty positive it was a choke slam, and the cage gave way. They had indications, and when they first built that cage, I think they used regular ties like they would to do a fence.
Mhm.
And once they started walking up on that cage, you saw the Undertaker take a couple of steps, and the links, not the links, the ties actually gave out. It was like clink, and then the crowd was like, "Oh!" And then that should have been an indication right there that it wasn't safe up there. And then they just proceeded to do it, and then next thing you know, Mick Foley's got a tooth up his nose, and he's through the cage.
And listen, he wasn't
Not
like
planned.
he was like a man's man. He wasn't like flashy. He didn't have the body that Vince wanted. He didn't have the face. In fact, he had to cover up his face. Greek, I know you watched some wrestling matches before. What was one of your favorite matches? Do you remember? Can you tell me?
No, I remember some wrestlers that used to freak me out when I watched them. You know, they were just kind of intimidating people that literally you could have like nightmares about. One was called the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
Oh, yeah.
Did
the
not
Boogeyman.
like him. Okay. There was also this voodoo guy, Papa
Shango.
Papa
Yeah,
Shango,
that's
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
by
He's
the
one of my
way
favorites,
is who?
man.
Who is Papa Shango,
The
guys?
Godfather, man.
That is right.
Mala.
That
I mean,
Those
remember-
guys, when I used to watch them, I'm like, there's something wrong with these people, man. That's why I never really
Yeah, he
got
started
into
off
it.
as Papa Shango. Then
But
he went
you know
into-
what? But I'll tell you what. One Kane, I remember a guy named Kane,
Yep.
and Jake
Undertaker.
the
Was a
Snake
mayor.
Roberts.
Jake
But
the Snake.
yeah, but Kane was kind of freaky. But I guess the freakiest one for me was Papa Shango and the Boogeyman. Didn't like them two guys.
Didn't like him at all. All right, let's go out to
So I
Jeremy.
liked a bit, but they were like weird.
Listen to this: Austin Rock, Undertaker, and RVD. The whole effing show right there with
If it was the
ECW.
Mount Rushmore for ECW, I'd say yeah, RVD. But I
He
mean,
says RVD.
yeah, I respect that.
Throwing it out there. All right, Mike D.
Robin
Roche,
did.
Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Mickey James. Where is the fabulous Moolah?
I was going to say Moolah and Wendy Richter.
Okay, where is Trish Stratus in this?
Maylin, Trish Stratus. Yeah, there's a bunch we could go into. Charlotte
Medusa?
Flair. Yeah.
Medusa? Yeah. All right. Good stuff here, guys. Jim, between
In
the
fact,
sleeper.
In fact, when I used to drive a cab, I had the fabulous Moolah and Maylin in the cab.
There you go.
Oh,
Mae
wow.
Young taking the bump she took from the Dudley boys. Between the sleeper, the elbow smash, the figure four, and the airplane spin, which one was the most for real? To me, the airplane spin, that's I have vertigo, so I have a lot of respect for Mike Rotunda, who did that, of course, is the father of Bray Wyatt, the deceased Bray Wyatt. And you know who
Uncle Howdy.
Yes, of course. And then the grandfather, of course, would be Blackjack Mulligan. And that would be long ago in the 80s and 90s there on Channel 44 with wrestling on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. But the figure four to me, that looks real, man. You have Ric Flair put the figure
It's
four on.
not. I tried it with somebody.
You tried it.
Yeah, maybe we weren't doing it right.
Tell this story really quick. What
Austin
happened?
Crab.
So we
Austin
were
Crab.
this was in Philadelphia. We were at the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention.
Yeah.
A couple of guys right up the road from me actually own a tattoo shop, and Jay, who is a huge wrestling fan, he tried to attempt the figure four, and I don't know, maybe he just wasn't doing it right, and he goes, "Hey, that's not right. That doesn't hurt, you know." But then again, we've all had a few to drink. This was after the convention was over, because they would have a booth. Yeah, so picture this. They would have a booth. They tattoo out of it, and the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention. If anybody ever gets a chance, Villain Arts puts that on. It is like the WrestleMania of all tattoo conventions. If you're ever looking to get some work, fly out to Philadelphia or drive out to Philadelphia. Any type of tattoo you want, any type of style, artist, it's there. I mean, you have hook hanging, people hanging from hooks. The Human Enigma. Are you guys familiar with the Human Enigma?
No.
The dude with the tattooed puzzles and the implants. No.
No.
Puzzle Man.
Yeah.
Well, I got to meet him. He actually, his partner needed to use my bathroom in my hotel. He actually almost got kicked out of that hotel room because of him. But yeah, just picture like 6 tattoo artists and myself and a few other people who weren't tattooers going out, coming back to the hotel room, like maybe 8 or 9 of us, and just trying to attempt to do a figure four. But I don't know. I had video of it. Maybe if I find it, it's probably in one of my old phones, but I was told that it didn't hurt.
Yeah, I remember meeting Bobby the Brain Heenan when he was dealing with
Bobby the
cancer.
Brain.
Getting a chance to meet him, man. I mean, even if he had cancer, he's dealing with throat cancer at the time. That was a thrill. And he actually had something signed for me, and I have to find it somewhere where it has all the wrestlers that he managed. And I believe Undertaker was on that. And he says something along the lines, "Peter, is it true that you're the son of a freak," or something like that? It's great. I gotta bring it on Turnbuckle Talk, but it's unbelievable.
Hey, Peter, I heard your Vince McMahon's illegitimate son.
I think it's something like that, man. I mean, it's something so funny like that. And Bobby,
Hornswoggle, he was his illegitimate son.
Yeah.
What a terrible storyline. We could talk about
but it was hilarious though the way.
That and Katie Vick with Kane and Triple H. And by the way,
God.
why is Triple H not in the Mount Rushmore? By the way, why is he not?
Yeah.
I'm a Triple H guy.
Shawn Michaels.
Paul Levesque. I love Paul Levesque. I love the story, and I'll tell you why I love the story. Because here's a guy who broke kayfabe, and Greek, you know what this is all about. It's about, always being in character. You break kayfabe. You hug Scott Hall. They all hug Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall.
Yep.
Of course, Nash and Scott Hall go to Madison Square Garden in the cage. They both, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, go to WCW. Shawn Michaels is the champion at the time. And because of breaking kayfabe, he is basically a mid-carder. He's a jobber at that point because he was going to be a main eventer. And he earns his way up to be like a main eventer for years upon years with factions and everything else. And then he takes over the business, which is amazing. To me, he's in Mount Rushmore somehow, some way. I don't know. But Harry, right? Harry, we got a guy that is working with WWE now. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, kinda.
Okay, go for it.
The only reason is because he's Vince McMahon's son-in-law.
Shut up and be quiet. No, I don't think it's that.
First off, one of my former colleagues here on the Sports Web, and we used to do a show,
yes,
and a podcast on the Over Under, and he had his own on Sunday mornings. Little Jacob Charnow, 16, 17 years old. We were one of the few that took him in, and we were talking sports handicapping, and he lives up in northern Jersey from a really good family. He decided that this is a career that he wanted to pursue, and the young man decided to go to the University of Syracuse for journalism and sports broadcasting. There was over 800 applicants to get a position as an intern with the WWE, and out of the 800, he was selected.
That's amazing. Awesome. That is absolutely
that man is, and my hat's off to Jacob Charnow. He'll be down here next week in the Tampa area.
Yes,
we're gonna get together a little bit, but couldn't be prouder of the young man. I'll tell you what, he's just doing absolutely incredible. Also, there's a guy that I worked with for many years, and he was a colleague of mine. He was known as the Heartthrob.
Yeah.
That also wrestled. He wrestled against who was the military guy? What was his name?
Sergeant Slaughter.
That's it. Yes, he was kicking Sergeant Slaughter's ass to start, and then he became a pincushion for him. I watched that old YouTube video, which was pretty cool. But his claim of fame, he was 220 pounds of muscle, steel, and sex appeal.
Listen, we got to get that guy on Turnbuckle Talk. We got to start getting wrestlers on. But by the way,
get him on right now if you really wanted to. But
well, we got to wrap this up here. I hate to wrap it up because it's been fun, and we're going to read more of these comments.
Oh yeah. Before you go through the comments, the Greek is going to sign off.
Hold on. Before you sign off, I want you to see this.
God.
I want you to see this. We shut up and be quiet. Get your head out of the gutter. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this guest list right here, my friend. Look at that. Right there. That's your guest list. I invite you, Harry the Greek, because I've already invited Leo and Ray. We'll be out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, I'm taking off. It starts at 2 o'clock to 8. I don't know. We're going to be out 6 hours, be out a couple hours, but the guests are Tristan Wirfs and Levante David. Those are the expected guests. And then Saturday, Canseco, McMillan, Johnson, Antoine Winfield Jr., Kalijah Cansey, Christian Itzian, Orlando Hernandez, Phil Esposito, Ruben Sierra, John Gruden, Ian Book, Bucky Irving, Desmond Watson, Elijah Roberts. And then for you basketball fans and Gator fans on Sunday, the quarterback for the Gators, DJ Langway, Tank Hawkins, DeBron Hampton, Nick Anderson, Sam Perkins, Cedric Maxwell, and Aaron Childs.
Cedric Perkins.
Sam Perkins and Cedric Maxwell.
Oh, the old.
Yes. They're going to be out there on Sunday. Yes.
So, hey, Peter, you run into Kalijah Cansey, tell him I said, let's go Pitt.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. Absolutely. Well,
I'm predicting Kalijah to be a Pro Bowler this year.
Well, Kalaj has already said he wants to lead the league in sacks, so it's always a good thing to see that. And if he could stay healthy, which has been a big if the last couple of years, but he can stay healthy, he's definitely got the potential. So I invite you, Harry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Please join me because I definitely want you to talk to some of these celebrities, and this is my gift to not only.
Yep. That's for me to get out there and go, hey, bro. Your over and under was 270 yards. Why didn't you go over? I don't get it. The people want to know. I'm Harry the Greek. I approve this message.
Elijah Cansey being injured, Peter, Tampa Bay should be lucky he's on a rookie contract.
Well, he's on a rookie contract, but he hasn't done enough yet to earn that big time contract. But I understand where you're coming from, Ralph. He definitely is talented. So, Gary, we'd like to come out there.
Hell has frozen over.
What's that?
Hell has absolutely frozen over. I thought I'd never do this.
What's up?
I came on and talked Turnbuckle Talk with you.
You did.
That's amazing.
You did.
This has been amazing.
Ralph,
we should definitely do.
Thank you for throwing me the notes into my DM so that way I knew what I was talking about a little bit.
Well, listen, you're a smart guy. I want to, before we get out of here, let's read some of these comments because I think you're going to enjoy this really quick. All right.
I'd rather shoot heroin.
Will you shut up and be quiet?
That's a bold statement, man.
Roddy Piper.
Teasing. Not that I condone drugs.
Yes. Bash Brothers, Undertaker, Goldust. Who are the Bash Brothers? Bash Brothers who? Lamar? All right.
Yes.
Mick Foley is a glorified stuntman, which is what Ric Flair said. Come on. Stand by. We'll get back to the comments in a moment. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on Turnbuckle Talk. What's your name?
Great job.
Oh, there you go. It's Sun Devil Day. Chicago's own, my friend, right there. Big time wrestling.
I can hang out for a second.
All right, hang out for a second, then we'll get you out of here. Yes.
Hey guys, are you wrapping up Turnbuckle Talk?
Yeah, we're talking Turnbuckle Talk, whatever you want to talk about.
God.
I'd like to see it. Hey, real quick, when I was looking at the new Saturday main event card, I don't really see any female matches going on. I just see the Uso, Paul, Punk, Zayn versus Breaker, Rollins, Cena, Truth, and then Priest, McIntyre, Steel Cage.
Right.
So I thought there was going to be like a female, some kind of tag team or something. I guess not.
The only female match I want to see is a tag team with a Mazzola roller party. Then I'll watch.
Well, there we go.
That's going off the shot right there.
Sexist.
Let me be really, really straight about that. You know what? There's nothing like. Does anybody remember playing the game Twister?
Yes.
Okay, let's just get this big plastic mat out there, okay? And we'll just get 2 bottles of Mazzola corn oil. It'll be just like a Diddy party, man. And we'll just rub everybody down with it and watch what happens.
Y'all stay there.
Now, Dave, that shouldn't be anything for y'all up there, the north side of Chicago, right? I mean, we're south siders down here.
Peter, didn't they used to have the oil? Didn't they have oil wrestling in WWE in a couple of matches? I thought they did.
When did they have the oil wrestling?
Ah, you've got my interest back.
They had some of that. They had the
Louie,
long story.
roller corn oil. How about you, Ruff? You in for that or what?
Yeah.
For what?
A little bit, yeah.
A Mazzola roller party with the Twister game.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want to do. I'll be there in my wheelchair.
you might have remembered this. There was a couple of bars on Manheim. I remember they used to have Jello wrestling, and then they used to have oil wrestling on certain nights.
Yeah, there were certain dancing establishments that used to have these big
No, there wasn't
jacuzzis.
strip clubs. These were like regular bars.
No, I know, but there was also a couple of dancing establishments that used to have these big jacuzzis, and they would fill them up full of gelatin, and then when you got up. That's not nice, Pete. That's not in a Greek town, okay? Just because I'm Greek does not mean just be careful and be wary of a Greek bearing gifts with squeaky squeaks. Okay?
High five.
Dave, are you up in Chicago now or no?
Peter, real quick, I know you're talking Mount Rushmore, but the guys, I know I had the ladies. I put Rousey on there. I know there's a lot of flack about Rousey, but if it wasn't for Rousey, the evolution wouldn't happen as soon. I don't think it would happen in 2018.
I don't know about that.
I'm not ready to say that, and I'll tell you why. Because
I think she sped everything up.
You think so? Why?
Well, with her presence, I know that her in-ring, and I know there's a lot of
her in-ring was not good, and her promos were terrible.
That's like putting Logan Paul up on Mount Rushmore. There you go.
Listen, Logan Paul is a talented wrestler.
She was one of the best
Ronda Rousey.
female athletes out
Is that Jake Paul's brother?
It is.
Yeah, when he wrestles.
Oh, get out of here, man.
I know. Oh, no, I was just.
Oh, that's
messing
true.
around.
The watch. I see the watch.
Oh,
Sorry.
see the watch
He's the
right
greatest, man.
He's the greatest.
But honestly,
He's
one more
great.
thing about Fauci. She.
See, I got my watch from the Dollar Tree.
Go ahead.
Not me, buddy. Here you go. Crushed
That
it.
is a
Very
real-
nice.
Dave, this is
It's a Rolex.
he's
Oh, no,
got a you got a
tattoos.
Rolex there. You got a Rolex.
This is not a Rollie. This is a little bit
Rolex?
more than a Rollie.
Okay.
Wow.
There you
That's
go.
all I got.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, Dave, I have a question for you. Seriously, are you up in Chicago at the moment?
No, he works with
No,
me.
no.
He
I
works
live
with me
here. I'm
at.
going to be going to Chicago though in next month. I'm going to go
Wait
see
a minute.
this game.
He works
Wait
with
a
Roger.
minute.
We all work
Wait.
together on Policy Scout.
You work with Roger and Pete?
Yes.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Tell
Friend
Dave,
me on
tell everybody-
Facebook, please,
Yes.
David. Friend me on Facebook. I've got something for you.
Tell everybody out there what it's like to work with me.
What? The moron
Oh,
that puts
someone
ketchup on
sworn.
his hot dogs?
Never a dull moment. Yeah, ketchup on hot dogs. And,
Yeah, really. Vienna. Maron. You put the ketchup
No,
on the
I
hot
got
dog.
the
Suck right there.
You would say, don't you? Who puts ketchup on a hot dog?
That guy right up there, the host
we
of the show.
we already settled this, and I'm supposed to be eating. What was
I
it
go to
called?
Portillo's with
Portillo's,
Peter,
yes.
right? Not Portillo's. I go to Portillo's with him. He says, "What would you like?" And I says, "Well, a Chicago hot dog comes, with sport peppers, onions, relish, a hot dog,
I can't have
mustard."
any
And he goes,
cheese
"Well,
on
do they? No cheese, no chili, no that." And he says, "Yes, I'd like to get a Chicago dog. Hold the onions, maybe the neon. Can you just put ketchup on it?"
Wow.
Awesome.
What? Can you hold the pickle spear too? What are you, nuts?
Listen,
How would you order a cheesesteak, Peter?
Listen, guys, I got to go full screen on
With
this.
cheese and extra large fries.
Will
and
you
they go,
shut
the
up
Diet
and
Coke.
be quiet here? Hold on a sec, okay? We're gonna go with the Philly cheesesteak. You go steak and cheese, and that's it. That's how you do it. Nothing else.
With or without?
Listen,
With no mushrooms, no onions,
mushrooms,
What about
no
peppers?
onions. Listen, if I want to eat a salad,
Oh,
I'll eat
God.
a salad.
You know
Wow.
what? I should take.
They
over
tell
the-
you, Geno's or Pat's, they tell you get back of the line.
I don't care. I get back in the line.
There's a place called Gene and Jews in
there's
Chicago.
one-
It's on
there's
North
one-
Avenue.
There's one in Clearwater. What's it called there? Philly cheesesteak place.
Yeah, it's right there. Just in Clearwater, there's also one in Largo. They got the
Right, you gotta go
Amoroso
to
rolls.
Philly to
They
get
have
one.
everything. No, really.
Yes.
This place is like being in Philly. I'm not kidding
Yes.
you. It's that good. But anyway, there's a place in the north side of Chicago called Gene and Jews. They've been around since the 50s. David, I don't know if you remember or not. They're right next to the old Maywood Park where they run the Trotters. But anyway, long story short,
Right.
this place is a hole in the wall. There's no place to sit. They probably run about 3,000 orders a day. They close at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they line up around the building. And their menu is really simple: hot dogs, fries, and Coke. There's no Sprite. It's hot dogs, fries, and Coke. And if you want, and if they have them,
tavern.
you can get a little tamale. That's it. And the tamale that I'm not talking about is not the tamales you're going to get in a Mexican restaurant. These are wrapped up in wax paper and they've been steaming for hours. You open them up, it looks like baby shit, but everybody eats them. Okay, and it's absolutely hilarious. But a real true Chicago hot dog is they take the fries right out of the fryer and they put them over the top of the hot dog and then they wrap it all up together.
Mm.
Now, I personally like my fries to be a little crispy.
Oh, me too.
Soggy because they're
right.
Bro, you've had nothing like that. You leave a couple of fries on there, you eat that hot dog, maron.
Yeah, that good.
I'll have to
Okay.
check it out. Maybe I'll go there when I go there in June. So.
Well, Roger's supposed to buy Portillo's tomorrow, so
I
I
used
will.
to put Steak and Shake's fries on my footlong when I ate one from Steak and Shake.
There you go.
You know what? That sounds good. But I'll tell you what, man. There's nothing like a good old Chicago hot dog, and I
good.
really like a good old steak and cheese with mushrooms, onions, and peppers.
No,
I like
you're
that.
Hey,
ruining.
here in Ocean City, man, they got them. They got some great.
Listen, here it is. I got a salad right here. I ate some of it. I took all the onions and the tomatoes out. It's from Olive Garden. Thank you, Olive Garden. Thanks to Steve, the roommate, once again. Ate a little bit of that. Probably throw it out because I didn't eat enough. And that's it, man.
Disappointed.
Y'all are killing me, man. I don't get this. So we went from.
He wants a Chicago hot dog, Harry, but he only wants it with ketchup on it. That's
not true.
No, I'm not
That's
kidding
true.
you, man.
I had it with a little bit of whatever. It's a sports sauce. It was
No,
good.
you don't. The sport peppers are a little too hot. I can't do it. Now, Pete, do you understand when you order an authentic Chicago beef that weird people get it dry? The other ones get them a little wet. But the proper way to eat it is when you baptize the sandwich.
Wow.
Do you understand what baptizing the sandwich is?
Yes. Well, they also have the beef. What's it called? The beef sandwich. I had that too. That was good.
What I just was talking about, the Chicago beef. You can also get a beef combo, which is a sausage with the beef in the nice bun. And you could put the jar in there and then you grab it with the tongs and you baptize it. If you don't know what I'm talking about baptizing, go ahead, and this is actually pretty comical. Everybody that's watching right now, people on the panel, I want you to YouTube Peyton Manning, Chicago Bears baptizing. It is absolutely. Put the link up here. It's something that you guys will absolutely die laughing. I mean, I've never seen anything funnier.
All right.
Because at the end, after they baptize Peyton Manning into the Ajou, he comes up as it's coming down and he goes, Green Bay sucks.
Hey, how about a cheesesteak with French fries and coleslaw on it up in Pittsburgh? It's called Permane Brothers.
You know what? That sounds absolutely delicious.
Hold on, Dave.
Is the coleslaw sweet?
Alex, we got Dave on. We're gonna finish off with Dave, and then we'll get to you.
Who's
All
that?
right, Alex? Stand by. All right.
Which Alex?
Alex.
Our Alex?
Yeah, our Alex.
He knows about WWE.
I think he does. Yes.
I got to hear this, please.
All right, Dave. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna get to Alex. Use that second call if you want to. Yeah, great job. Great job. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Thanks for wasting my time. All right, let's go out. That's what we say, by the way. We can't say that on air. We can't say it on the phone because we'll get fired. But we will say to Alex, don't waste our time here. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend.
How you doing? How you doing, everybody?
You got Harry. Say hi to Harry.
Harry,
I'm so happy you called in tonight because I didn't think my night was going to be complete without your bumbling mouth coming at me talking about WWE. Please, I got to hear this one.
Well, he's happy because the Rays won today, 2 out of 3 with the Astros.
The Rays won? Okay, so what were we, 3 games under 500? We're going. We're not only going to the playoffs, Alex. I want you to dress up like the Michelin Man.
Okay.
I want you to dress up like the Michelin Man and hang out in front of Steinbrenner Field and then lift up your tire once in a while to flash to people as they're going by. That I will pay you $100 to do.
Wow.
You're a good
Peter, I have to leave.
You gotta leave?
I have to get out. I have to get
All right,
out.
Ralph, seriously, man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to be honest with you, Ralph. The reason why I came on, nothing personal to you two. I seen you were on there. And if you haven't had a chance, make sure you go to RW Media. Follow Ralph Williams. He's got some absolutely spectacular content. He's also got other people that are coming on with him. He's got Smoking Jim, right?
Smoking Jim Fraser is my co-host, yes.
He's an absolutely unbelievable guy. And if you haven't had a chance, you really got to
my radio shows up in Pittsburgh too, so.
Sounds good. Now we got to get back to Alex because I got to torture him for a little while.
And I got to get back to Ocean City, Maryland here. So.
All right, Ralph.
Take care, Ralph.
My friend, congratulations. Yes, sir. A good turnbuckle talk tonight. We talked some turnbuckle. We talked some food here.
Alex, I'm ready for you, buddy.
Louie, can you hang out for a little bit?
Yeah.
I got 2 trolls.
Okay.
I got 2 trolls. It's not bad.
You got a troll.
It's not even towards you. True fact that the Colorado Rockies are aiming to be 26 and 132. 131.
They could be worse than the Chicago White Sox last year, right?
Oh, thank God. I think Baltimore might do that this year.
Well, they fired their manager. They're well on their way, which is surprising.
The second troll.
So what other wisdom do you have for the Greek tonight?
I love Alex.
And the second troll is a hot dog with chili, cheese, and ketchup.
Well, you're the
Ooh.
same moron that came from Chicago, just like Peter.
We have a special hot dog out here in Massachusetts, Fall River.
What is it?
It's onions, chili, and mustard.
You know what? That actually sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah,
It's spicy.
Yeah, you
Chili.
got to order it with the works. It's called hot dog with the works.
Is it spicy mustard?
No, but you can get it with spicy mustard. Where I'm from, like, believe it or not, there's a lot of like that's still remaining. The heritage out here is mostly predominant Portuguese, and some of the food out here is. If you guys haven't had Portuguese food and you're ever in this part of the United States,
You want to open up. You want to open up your palate a little bit and really have some sensational taste buds. Get up into the Midwest and go into Chicago, Louie. I'm not kidding you. It's like, for instance, you like pizza, right?
Yeah.
Pizza. My pizza.
Well,
bacon and pepperoni.
Listen, pizza.
I can appreciate a good pie.
Butter cheese
a good pie in Boston is what kind of pizza? What do they call it?
I mean, it all depends. I mean, it's all about preference. I mean,
It's a thin pizza. It's a coal-fired pizza. Okay.
Brick oven.
Pizza,
Oh yeah.
with the brick oven. Let me tell you something. There is nothing better than an East Coast cheese pie. Yes, I'm from Chicago, and I just said that's sacrilegic. But don't worry, Chicagoans. Louie, if you've ever want a pizza and you like sausage,
Yeah, depending on what type of sausage. If it's, I like spicy sausage. We have a pretty good place out here, Brick Pizza Company in Bristol. They're slamming.
The Italian sausage in Chicago
Okay.
is something like it's got a little anisette inside of it. It's unbelievable. The difference between a Chicago pie and a New York pie, a Chicago pie, you can pick it up and the pizza stays nice and firm.
Right.
Okay. The other difference is anything you have a topping on it, you don't see the topping. It's dough, sauce, the toppings, and then guess what goes over the toppings? The cheese. It's the other way around in New York. It's dough, sauce, cheese, and then toppings.
Right.
Not do re mi?
No. And Alex, are you an expert in Chicago pizza or New York, sir?
New York.
You like your New York pies?
Yes.
Where do you typically go to to get a New York style pizza around here?
Oh.
That Little Caesars and Hungry Howie's doesn't count. Where do you go get your pizzas from? Where's Alex at?
There's a place in St. Pete called Joey's Famous. It's called Joey's Famous something. I went there like 3 weeks ago with my buddy Ryan. It was pretty good.
Yep. I implore you, if you get up in the Seminole, right at the corner of Park Boulevard and Seminole Boulevard, right there in that little plaza behind the weddings, there's a place, Wendy's, right next to Crunch Gym. It's called Brooklyn Pizza Company.
Oh yeah,
it was just like being back in New York. I'm not kidding you. That pizza is just phenomenal.
It's like right by me. I should check it out.
Yeah, it's right next to Crunch, right there.
5 minutes from there.
My go-to pizza is, again, it's from the place called Brick Pizza Company in Bristol, Rhode Island. It's called the Bristol because it's, again, predominantly Portuguese. It's a Portuguese chorizo with banana peppers and onions and pineapple. I add the pineapple into it.
Pineapple.
I love pineapple on pizza. Yeah,
pineapple on pizza.
Listen,
bye, Louie. There's no such thing as pineapple on pizza. That's where I draw the line. Sorry, Louie.
Listen,
wait
a minute.
No, you're in 5 minutes of purgatory. I want to see 5 push-ups, 10 Hail Marys, and an Our Father. I'm kidding. Is he done?
Nah, listen.
You got one more Our Father. That's it.
Pineapple with
ham.
Green peppers,
ham.
onion. No ham.
Ham.
No ham.
Ham.
Absolutely not.
Pineapple.
Pineapple with banana peppers and onions is slamming.
I think.
Have you tried it? Have you tried it?
Meat, pineapple on a pizza.
Have you tried it?
The bafangu. Are you crazy?
Full discora. You never tried that. That's Portuguese.
Pineapple on a pizza is like putting barbecue sauce on a pizza. It's gross.
No, what's even worse.
Travis,
where are you? Travis, really, where are you? Travis Foley, where the hell are you?
We're gonna get out. We're gonna finish up with Alex, and then we'll come out to you. Okay, stand by.
I'd rather talk about marriage counseling.
It's not bad.
Shut up and be quiet. All right, Alex.
This is coming from the guy that eats Hungry Howie's, and you think that's quality?
I like Hungry Howie's pizza.
I
Okay.
know you do. I know you do.
Hey guys, I have a question. Though. The reason why I called tonight is because Harry's on here, so I wanted to ask him why he's on here.
Of course. Why? Because I am also a savant of what are we talking about? WWF.
Turnbuckle
Yeah,
Talk.
that's Turnbuckle Talk.
Raw and SmackDown.
I'd rather shoot heroin in my eyes than talk WWE. But go ahead. What's your question?
That's the suck right there.
So here's the question. So it's about the Rays, because that's why I usually call in for him. So the Rays did beat the Astros today. We did win a very important series.
Yeah.
The one game we lost, and I wanted to ask Harry about it. The one game we lost, man on third, 1 out, and you have Walls bunting. When you're tying, remember, man on third, 1 out, your tying run is at third, and you're bunting. Please explain that logic, which, by the way, before you answer that, the very next night, same guy, Walls, man on third, I think there was 1 out, and walked it off last night. Same, which, by the way, a fly ball out to walk it off yesterday. Please, someone explain the logic.
I don't really have a problem, Alex, in all honesty, about him trying to bunt him to get him home when you're at home. Well, no, technically, if you're at home, you're supposed to swing to win. Usually, if you're on the road, get him on, get him over, get him in. I understand that mentality, but do I have a problem with the way they did that? No, I don't, because, you always have a chance to win the game, but you're supposed to be more aggressive when you're at home. When you're on the road, that's when you play a little bit more conservative, and I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, but I agree.
There's a but?
But we weren't tied yet. We were down by 1.
I understand that. The tying run was at third. Right?
I don't understand where analytics come in to put that into play when you have a tying run. And the very next day, by the way, worked just fine. A sac fly out, same guy, Taylor Walls. Peter knows him very well. He's been struggling all year. Very next guy, same day. The very next day, same spot. Only difference is the game was tied, so you had the walk off at third. And I'm happy we walked it off yesterday.
If he places the bunt, Alex, if he places the bunt down correctly, he gets home. I don't have a problem with that. I understand where you're coming to on it, but I mean, technically, you're not really expecting a bunt in that situation. And I don't recall if the infield was playing in. Now, if they were playing in,
they were playing in. Yeah,
then you don't have to do that. I mean, if you lay it down the first base line and you're running your ass off, he's got to go get that runner at first.
Yeah, but they were definitely playing it. I just don't. But the reason why I brought that up is I just don't see where any analytic stat or anywhere in the world would say the bunt in that position with the infield playing up, your tying run is at third. I just cannot. Listen, I'm happy.
Well, first off, we don't know if the analytics didn't say that because there's nothing on the internet that'll actually show what analytics are. They have the analytics there in the sitting in their dugout, whatever the hell they're doing, and they're getting talked to from the people that create those analytics. So for you to say that might not be 100% correct.
I just think that analytics are the reason why I've counted the Rays have lost 8 games this season alone.
Yeah, well, I still play that's why I'm also saying there's a lot of people that talk about the NFL with PFF grades. You can take those and just throw them right out the windows. Anybody can recite PFF grades. I'm going to tell you what I actually physically see. Let me go back a couple of years when the Buccaneers had a left tackle by the name of Donovan Smith, and everybody rode him like a dirt bike, and they rode him right out of town. But you know what his PFF grades were? 10, 11. Hold on. He was ranked 10th and 11th. That's an upper echelon left tackle. Okay. But was he? No. PFF had it wrong, like they do about 90% of the things. So analytics can go right where PFF goes. It's called, do you take the Browns to the Super Bowl like they do every year and you just flush it? You've got to play You've got to be able to coach and manage these games, not just somewhat from analytics. You can listen to them, but you have to play with what you see and how you feel. Can you imagine Ozzie Guillen coaching now and managing games with analytics? Seriously.
That'll be tough. That'll be tough. It'll be very tough. Alex, we appreciate the call, man.
Thanks,
we got to get out to use that second call.
Greg. I appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yep. We appreciate you, man. He's becoming a great caller here. Let's go out to the phone lines. Louie, you want to hold on really quick? Louie, you want to get the hell out of here really quick, or you want to stay on?
I'm going to leave by. No, Louie's got to stay with you because he wants to learn how to end the show and things like that. You didn't read your private chat.
Oh, I didn't read my private chat. All right, where's my private?
No, but I got to go watch Chris Cuomo. So
okay,
I got to find out what happened in South Africa today. And if you haven't caught up on it, they had the president of South Africa. You need to YouTube it.
Oh yeah, I
I
seen that.
Heard about it. Oh, bro, you need to watch it.
Right in front of him. That was good. They let him have it.
I did not say that. I do not want to kill all white people.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are you talking about? Oh, it was unbelievable.
He's like, turn the lights down a little bit. Let's watch this. That was.
It was brutal. I kind of felt bad for the guy, but you know what? It's got to be brought out in the open. Everybody should love one another. That's what I've always said. Listen, gentlemen, appreciate you guys having me on. Greekites, webheads, really, seriously, y'all have a really good evening. I'm Harry the Greek. Keep your bets low and your returns high. Louie, keep up what you're doing. Peter, talk to you later. And this will never happen again. I don't do turnbuckle talk.
Bro, you were awesome tonight. You absolutely killed it. Yes. Aloha.
Lamar. See you, brother.
All right. Good stuff there, Greek. He's out of here. I mean, I was surprised. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Louie, I know you had a new job, so we got to get you out of here. By the way, Ed there on Instagram Live. Hey, guys, good show. Thank you for watching. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on Turnbuckle Talk.
Peter, Jeremy, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm getting more set for football season. You know, I'm over the whole baseball. Just get through the summer.
That's it. You're done with baseball. It's a long season here, my friend. Long season still.
Unfortunately, you know, there's so many games of baseball. So, and being a Rays fan is kind of hard. It's like a marriage. You love them, you hate them. You know, but shout out for their series win.
There's ups and downs, my friend. It's a roller coaster ride. I don't know it. Never been married before, but I kind of think that's what it's like at this point. It's kind of like my job. You know, one day I'm the superstar and the next day I'm a bum. Right? I'm a bum. A bum. Exactly, Mickey. A bum. So there you go. Thank you very much, producer, for getting that up there. Very nice, as always. All right.
So what are we talking? Turnbuckle Talk still?
Oh, are we talking Turnbuckle Talk? Yes, absolutely. What's on your mind?
I must say, man, Roxanne Perez, man, she's making a lot of noise, man. She's really got my attention.
Yeah, she's got your attention, all right. I saw that in the comments, Jeremy. I bet she's got your attention. What do you think?
The other one there, Stephanie Valkyrie, whatever her name is.
Oh, she's
wow, good. Oh, I'm talking talent here, bud. I'm talking talent.
Talent. I'm saying talent too. Very talented in different ways. Absolutely. But definitely in the ring. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I must say, Roxanne Perez, you know, kind of distracting, you know, Dirty Dom. You know, she had the Dirty Dom.
You think Dirty Dom is going to get with her because he was with Rhea Ripley, right? And then he was with Liv. Was he with somebody else too?
No, that was it.
No. And now he could get with her.
I wonder what his real life wife thinks about all this.
I'm telling you.
Oh, I mean, she's a trooper, man. I mean, you know, when you're married to a wrestler, it's a business. You know, I mean,
well,
that's pretty
if he's
much it.
Considered a.
No,
I tell her to go F herself.
It's his decision. And listen, he comes from a wrestling family business. Besides, you know, Ray never did that stream. But, you know, that's just part of the business, unfortunately. And Dominic Mysterio mentioned that in an interview, that his wife understands the process and all that.
Right.
Whatever. But long story short, I think Finn Balor's using Roxanne to kind of trigger Dom and then boot him out of the Judgment Day, let him go, like, kind of solo. Because if you watch WrestleMania, he got a big fan prop when he won the Intercontinental Championship. So I feel like, you know, his time's coming a little bit sooner than later, on my opinion, on Dominic Mysterio. As far as main event goes, since we're talking Turnbuckle here, it'll be, I mean, the price we're asking for tickets is ridiculous, but whatever. I mean, I guess they're trying to get John Cena, R-Truth. That should be a, I guess, fun, entertaining match, I guess. But I'm looking more forward to the steel cage match with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. That to me is probably the match of the night, if you ask me.
Okay.
If I was watching main event, no disrespect to the tag team match they got going with CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and then of course you got Jey Uso facing Logan Paul. And which Logan Paul can wrestle. He can
wrestle. He can definitely
He's a
wrestle,
great
and you're
performer.
kind of interested to see if they put the belt on Paul.
No, they won't.
Because there's it's just Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. You've got Paul Heyman there. I mean, there's some conflicting things going on, so it makes you think maybe they do something big. And I think a lot of people are kind of expecting them to do something big. A lot of people thought they would put the belt on Kevin Owens over Cody Rhodes, and they didn't do that. You just kind of wonder when that moment is going to come while you're doing Saturday Night Main Event. Because to me, I don't know what you think about this, Louie, it's kind of come off a little bit flat for me. So it's like a regular deal. And when you did, and maybe it's because it's the oversaturation of wrestling all week. You have Monday Raw, you have Tuesday NXT, you have Friday SmackDown, you have a Wednesday Evolve, whatever the heck it is now. It's kind of
show.
Well, it's and then you have LFG on A&E if you want to watch that on Sunday night. Young wrestlers. This has kind of come off as not something special like it used to be in the 80s. And
you know what it is, Peter? It goes back to what I said. It's too much pay-per-views. They just need to keep it to a minimal. Remember the old times? It was in your house, and those pay-per-views were kind of just like spread it out, and they had like a theme.
Right.
If they need to go back to that, I'm not saying go back to in your house, but I'm just saying like there's too many pay-per-views, and it does not let these stories develop. Like I feel like Logan Paul and Jey Uso would be a better build-up if it wasn't a Saturday night main event. Saturday night main event is gonna lose its nostalgia because it's like watered down. We already had a Saturday night main event. If you want to keep up that nostalgia consistently, then do a throwback SmackDown show.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle in there, do a throwback Monday Night Raw. You can do 2 or 3 of those.
Right.
You can do a late 80s Monday Night Raw theme. You can do a mid 90s Monday Night Raw theme. And you can bring back the early 2000s Monday Night Raw theme. Same vice versa with SmackDown. There's too much of the Saturday night main event, the nostalgia. You're gonna lose that nostalgia. I'm telling you. And to be honest with you, people are looking at Saturday night main event as like a big time show. And Saturday night main event should only happen once a year, in my opinion. And it's gonna lose its nostalgia. I'm telling you.
It may, but you just kind of wonder again when they're going to pull something to make people watch Saturday Night Main Event. Maybe this is the week to do it. Makes sense. All right, what else, Jeremy?
I agree with Louie. I think they're overdoing it on the Saturday Night Live. Doing more than one of that event. Throughout the year. I do feel it should be a one-time event. That's it. And I agree with Louie as well. I mean, let the storyline develop more.
Yeah.
I feel that's probably the downfall right now is that they're not letting these storylines develop a little bit longer.
Right.
Everything is rushed. Back in the day, if you look at back in the day, I promise you guys, go back and go look at some of those Monday Night Raw storylines in the late 90s. Like they took time to develop, like Rock versus Stone Cold 1 and 2 were more than 8 weeks to develop. That was starting at the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And then Rock versus Austin 2, that started, we already had seeds planted for it. So I just think, in my opinion, they need to stop with all these pay-per-views. And I seen a comment here, Peter, that I'd like to get to.
Yeah.
The problem with that, Louie, is that the wrestlers want to make the big bucks.
Yeah.
I get they want to make the big bucks, but here's my take to that. I don't think they're making anything extra on that because they already have a contract set in place and they have royalties, and I guess they make money off merchandise and stuff, etc. On that. But in my opinion, I think that They need to do away with a lot of these pay-per-views because the main thing is it's getting stale because everything is rushed. You have 3 weeks. Hey, go out there. That's like somebody telling you, Peter, hey, you have 3 weeks to go do a top-notch feud with this guy. It's impossible. It doesn't work. That's why the Logan Paul and Jey Uso thing is it's
flat.
Like, it's flat. It is. It's flat. There's no seeds being planted. Well, there's seeds being planted, but it's just it can't develop.
Nope.
It can't develop. There's no. Well, why are they feuding? What's the story behind this? I don't know where he just knocks him out.
You don't want to get it like AEW where it's even worse, where they don't tell us.
You know how you can fix AEW? I'll tell you how you can fix AEW right now.
Yeah.
The biggest 3 douchebags in AEW, in my opinion, are the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So you need to go back and make those guys the 3 biggest douchebags. I'm telling you right now, you want viewership AEW? I said I was going to do this, and I thought long and hard about it. Here's my take on AEW, on how you get people to watch AEW. You start by, you have a little bit of heat with Matt and Nick Jackson because people really don't like them. What you can start by doing them is making them come out and start really ruining professional wrestling, if you will, with getting involved in matches and just being complete douchebags. Kind of like how they introduced Adam Cole to the Bullet Club. Remember that? You can start doing stuff like that. Make them go out and take out the biggest face of the company, kind of like Will Ospreay. Him and Kenny Omega are cool now, right? But they had a big rivalry, right? Have Matt and Nick Jackson ruin their title opportunity, cost them the title, and then finally Kenny Omega comes out, and then he looks like he's going to help Will Ospreay. Boom, no, super kicks him. Whatever those guys decide to do, but you need to bring the heat on those 3 guys, and you want to make them the 3 biggest douchebags in AEW. You want that NWO heat where they're throwing bottles in the ring. And then once you do that, you have a couple of more members, and then that's when you start setting. That's when I believe your viewership will start to go up because those 3 guys are the biggest douchebags, in my opinion. Let them live out their characters in real life. I'm not buying this Kenny Omega bullshit right now. Sorry for cussing, but it's the truth.
It's after 11, and we're definitely tired, and we're wrapping it up here, Jeremy. We appreciate the call, my friend. All right.
No, absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Yeah.
Peter, looking forward to chopping up more with you.
Yes.
Louie, you're awesome, bro.
Please do.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
You,
man.
Appreciate you. All right, let's continue to read the comments, and then we'll get you out of tonight because I know you got that new job. And again, we wanted to go 2 hours, and once again, Webheads, you show out like always.
Show up.
Mick Foley's glorified stuntman. I watched the pay-per-view when Owen Hart died. That was very sad.
Terrible.
Favorite match of all time, Austin versus Rock, Mania 17. Absolutely, with the ending with Vince McMahon coming out and supporting Stone Cold. Was that the match? It was the match. 17.
Yeah, 17. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was. Lita, Trish, Rousey, and Flair. We talked
Not
about
better than Undertaker and Shawn Michaels too, though.
No, definitely not. Trish, all-time favorite now. Roxanne Perez, she's bae, says Jeremy. We appreciate it. Look at this. Mom is a wrestling fan. Did you know this? There you go. Jack Briscoe with the figure 4. She says Jack Briscoe right there. A little old school. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
My friend was a wrestler. He put the figure 4 on me. It wasn't fun. Ouch, says Mike D. Roche. Okay. Bounce house matches were fun back in the day. Laugh out loud. Meeting Austin in 2018 was a childhood dream. Almost offered him $50 for a stunner. By the way, would you take a stunner, or what was it, diamond cutter or an RKO?
I'd take a diamond cutter. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. The stunner, man, you're gonna break my jaw.
Right.
I don't land the right way, and plus, I don't know. I'd rather take an RKO.
Tell you what, McMahon, when he took the stunners, or
good.
later on in his career,
not so good.
No,
terrible. RKO, I can sell the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can sell that.
5-star frog. Look at this. I worked at Gold's Gym in St. Pete in the 90s. They had a few celebs, including Mike Alstott and Macho Man. They were strong, but they were normal guys who were even stronger, which proves that it's not all about pure strength. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff there. Lamar says Greek. Ha, ha, ha. Christopher Cole, Chicago seems like fun. It seems like fun. Surprised they didn't give Peter a ketchup bottle to pour it on himself, and mustard came out. Thank you, Lamar. Connie's Pizza in Chicago. Lamar says aloha, Ralph. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much, Lamar. Cheesesteak with onions and mushrooms is the best. I'm Christopher Cole. You know how I feel about this. Just keep it. I go with the Whiz. Go Whiz. And it's Delco's in Clearwater. I love that place. Delco's in Clearwater. Cheesesteaks, root beer, soda from Philadelphia. It's a perfect place. It really is. I parked Puerto Rican and on the side of my family. My family thing to eat is
Pastelitos.
Pastelitos. Okay. There you go.
Those are pretty good. I like those.
Nick's about to blow it. Travis Faley of Rocket Sports and Entertainment right there. More of Harry, less of Pete. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. I'm part Puerto Rican. I love eating those. Travis Faley, is Pete alive? I am here. It's Pizza Talk with Harry. Mike D. Roche, pineapple pizza, no way in hell.
Nobody's tried it, though. You can't knock it until you try it.
I like pineapple pizza with ham or bacon. Why not? At the same time, just to piss you guys off. I love it. Get Dave from Barstool to tell you about some great pizza places. That'll be a great guest. Aloha, Greek. Thanks for your time. Thank you, Lamar. Christopher Cole, Pacers just made a huge comeback, and now they're in OT, so they've gone all Reggie Miller on the Knicks. Pacers were down 8 points with 50 seconds left and tied the game. You got to be freaking kidding me. The problem with Louie is that the wrestlers want to make the big bucks. Dave, Peyton Manning baptized. Lamar, I love wrestling back in the days because the storylines were longer. Yes, we are in a new area, and they have lost their train of thought. And Lamar, Louie sounds like the Steiner brothers. So
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, I mean, are you doing Steiner math? That's the next thing I want to ask.
Can't say I can do Steiner math.
66% chance or whatever. And they finally embraced that. They had, I can't remember his name now. What the heck?
Ron Breaker did it, though.
Ron Breaker did it, and then they turned him heel. I mean, that's so funny. All right, final thoughts here on the evolution. I know you got a show tomorrow night. Promote that, man. I appreciate the time as always here on the Sports Web. So promote yourself, man, and good luck with that new job.
Yes, 7:30 tomorrow. We're going to be doing obviously the Frozen Pirate podcast on the Facebook, everywhere where you listen to the podcast. I mean, we're on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, man. There's so many of them that I put out there. Also, right here on the Sports Web exclusively, the Frozen Pirate podcast. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, man. That goes a long way. Last week's episode did, I think, 888 views on Facebook, which is
amazing.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. I mean,
we're just the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
Yeah, man. I thank you guys for listening to me rant. But tomorrow's show, Leo Haggerty, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Maybe, I don't know, the Greek didn't really commit to it yet, but I'd like to talk around the NFL with him. I'd like to pick his brain on his Chicago Bears. And obviously we're doing a segment called State of the South, where not what's cooking in the South, it's State of the South.
What do you have for dinner?
Yeah. With yours truly, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers. Basically, I talk about the state of it, like who's doing what. We have a guy, Ralph, who is a Carolina Panthers fan. Hopefully, I can get him on so I can get his take on the Panthers. But yeah, we have a pretty good show tomorrow, as always. And hopefully, Mr. Peter Blake can jump on and pop his cherry on the Frozen Pirate podcast ship there, because I'm the captain of that ship. So
yes, you are. You are the producer. You are the captain, and good things to come, my friend. As always,
Absolutely.
We appreciate the time. All right.
Yeah, man. And make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, because I got the Facebook now, the Frozen Pirate Podcast, or Louie Lateo. Also Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm gonna stop posting funny videos that I share with my friends. I'm gonna start doing that. I think I sent you a good one with the golf guy, right?
Yes, he did. Yes,
good, huh? I'd be pissed if that happened to me.
Let's get
I'd be pissed, man.
My friend, I appreciate it as always. Thanks a lot for joining me here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Right there.
What do you hear? What do you say?
There he is. He's out of here right there. We'll back to the single shots. Let me go out to last comment of the night. Much mahalos for taking the time out of your day to do this for us. Aloha, brother. Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go Bucs. All right. So on that note, thanks a lot to all the guests of the night, especially you webheads. Of course, Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions. Of course, you got Louie from the Frozen Pirate Podcast, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, Ralph Williams, and of course, Jamie Bly there, and Josh for telling us about the surprise of the night, Tampa Bay Sports Collectors Expo. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. We'll keep it down for the roommates. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And of course, for the fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay Sports Fan, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. And as we always say on this show, to end it off on a happy hump day edition, go Bucs. All right, what's up, man?
Oh, still live.